All right, we should be live now. We should be. How's everybody doing? It's been a week since you guys finished off Act 3. Ah, nice. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't play like the intro to Act 4 yet. Realistically, right now you're in between acts. You're just in between acts right now.
Intermission.
You're like a little intermission. Oh, no, John's back now. Just disappeared for a bit. Anyway, we've got a lot of the usuals in our chat at the moment. We've got Furry Blue Elf. We've got Jackalope. We've got Daunts, and I reckon if I said Sharpie Edges is there as well, I probably wouldn't be wrong. Who we don't have? Oh, Random Origins is there too, of course. Who we don't have, unfortunately, is Hunster, one of our subs and usuals. He's changed shifts. He's working he's sleeping while we play now, which is a real shame. So this goes out, pour one out for Hunster, I think. Anyway, let's sort of jump into it. We'll throw up the recap from last week because it was a pretty eventful sort of rounding off of that chapter. So this is what went down last week.
Previously on Getting Dicey.
Sig sees Gundren fall to the floor. No! Dashes across the room, pours that potion into Gundren's mouth.
The potion pours into Gundren's mouth, fills up his mouth, and overflows down the side. Nothing seems to be happening.
I'm going to try and stop this crazy guy, and I'm going to cast blindness.
All colour has disappeared from King Groll's eyes. It is Duran's turn, and he disappears into this room. Both Mirakin and the Baron hear some sort of kerfuffle in the room that Duran disappeared into. The door's opened up, and it looks like this drow, I guess, this dark elf, has just been thrown down into the room. And Duran just says, "We are not alone."
You are outmatched here. We outnumber you. We outgun you. Surrender, and you will not share Gundren's fate.
King Groll drops his Morning Star and puts his arms up. It is the drow's turn and just raises her head up and just brings it down into the sharpest point of Sig's shield and drops to the ground. The long grey hair starts receding into her head. Her mouth seals over. This may never have been a drow at all.
So I'm going to bend down on one knee and just grab him by the head. Where's the map?
Under my bed, but we need to get out of here. American, under the bed, you've found like a small leather sack, and with a little bit of digging you managed to pull out a map. To the east of Phandelver is an X with the words Wave Echo Cave written across it.
What about this map is so important that you'd kill for it?
Nesnar doesn't want anyone else to know where the Wave Echo Cave is. It's as simple as that.
Sig walks forward with a two-handed and brings it down onto the top of King Groll's head.
And you just crush his head underneath the weight of the hammer, killing him instantly. So you've kind of seen all of Cragmore Castle, which is great because what that means is that we've kind of hit the end of Act 3. All right, we're back. So that was rounding off of... We're just all counting up dollars and gold pieces at the moment, trying to figure out what everyone's got, because I think people are hungry for buying some new gear. What else? Oh, yeah. So just a reminder, if you guys do have inspiration points, to make sure that they're marked on D&D Beyond as well, just so people can be aware, should they try and want you to have further inspiration. Because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want that? So what I think we'll do... well, let's just jump into it. What I think we'll do is we'll... say that you guys have left Cragmore Castle, and you've noticed the time. It's quite late, and I was already pretty late when you arrived at Cragmore. And we'll say that you've ventured maybe an hour away from Cragmore Castle, and you've set up a small camp for the night. You've set up your sleeping arrangements. You've set up your like a campfire and things. I don't know if things are really getting dicey or not, but we'll say that things are... Is that?
Getting Dicey.
It's always so smooth, that transition. What I've put together for you guys, just because it's been a while since we've had anything cool happen on Roll20 visually, I've set up a little animated map of a campsite for you guys while you sit around the campsite talking.
No.
It's like I'm there.
Cicadas making their noises and the light from the campfire is illuminating you all. You'll notice I've separated Loris and Duran from around the fireplace as well. And for some reason, Gil is looking really swole. Actually, I don't know why he's so much bigger than the others at the moment.
Because
Aw.
Gil's a small boy.
I feel like mine's struggling to load, but hopefully it does.
Can you see your tokens?
Yep.
Yep. Can you see the map, or is that still loading, or what's going on for you
It's
guys? Yeah?
just loading. The whole thing is just loading.
Okay, well, that's fine. You can just imagine, using your mind, that you're all seated around a campfire at the moment. You've made your sleeping preparations, but I don't know. You're just all having a bit of a moment before you're reflecting on everything that's occurred, I guess. Gundren is. What have you guys done with Gundren while you guys have set up camp? Did you bring him along, or did you leave him at Cragmore Castle?
Roasting him on the fire.
Okay, good.
No!
Everyone, D20 for how delicious Gundren is.
It's wrong to waste.
Yeah, we use every part of the country.
We talked a bit about this, and we, I think, where the party landed was that we were going to bring him with us to Lady Gariel.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, or
Agreed.
Sildar, or Duran, someone in Phandelver.
Cool.
Gariel will be good if she can do something. But yeah, I think we're mostly going to go to the mines, so we're not going to spend a lot of time
Yeah.
dealing with Gundren's body, I think.
All right. So you did your ritual. What did that ritual do for Gundren?
It stops him from decomposing
For
for
how long?
10 days,
Oh,
and
10
then I
days.
can cast it again at the end of 10 days. So once I get to Phandelver, if we go there, I'll cast it again, and it'll be froze for 10 days. And it stops him also from becoming undead.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's pretty sweet. So before we call it a night, replenish all your health, get all your spell slots back, and do what you need to do before heading off back to Phandelver. Is there anything you guys wanted to do?
Well, I have a couple of scrolls that I haven't.
I mean, this
Right.
is always fun.
Yeah,
Can you move away from the fire when you're doing?
I got
Just
Ray of
for-
Thickness a long time ago, and I haven't tried to learn it yet. So. Do you remember how I do that?
Oh god, the scroll rules. No.
Every time.
1d10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah, that's right. So you got to roll higher than that with your wisdom. Is it?
Must be intelligence.
Or is it intelligence? I'm really glad that we made sure we were aware of what was going on before we.
God, unbelievable.
It's intelligence.
It's intelligence. Okay, great. And you can have the assistance of if someone wants to help out as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to assist?
I'll have a look at the scroll.
Well,
I'm not sure I'm smart enough to assist him.
Okay, cool.
Sit there and read it and go, what's that word? What's that word? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, if American wants to help out the Baron scribe this scroll into his book, you can do so and roll.
That'd be great.
And roll with advantage.
Okay, so do I roll just intelligence or is it a check? Sorry,
Well, it's not a save; it'll be just an intelligence roll.
Does it get proficiency added on? That's what I mean. It's like a, or that's only if I'm good at intelligence. It's not Arcana, is it?
I mean, this is. Do I might have to actually bring up the rules if we're gonna.
Sorry about that.
No, this is good. What we needed was a really.
Oh, a
solid
copy
start
must
to this.
succeed on an Arcana check with a DC equal to 10 plus the spell's level. Okay, so I've got Arcana here. It's a +6.
Okay, sweet. Well, that should be pretty decent. Is that what you did last time? I feel like that isn't what you did last time.
Can I sing a song of inspiration for the Baron?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to let him roll with advantage anyway, since American's assisting him.
Well, I hope so, because that was a bad roll.
Yep. Yep.
Here we go.
I was just leaning over your shoulder like, oh, yep, I know that room. Yeah. Yep. But she smells really badly of cheese, so I don't know if it's actually helping that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got an 8 plus 6, so I think that's enough.
That's a 14. So you've added, what is it? This
I
scroll
needed
of...
an 11.
Great.
Ray of Sickness.
Ray of Sickness. Nice.
And I've also got one other, another one, so I may as well do it now rather than take ages another time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't learn Revivify, so someone can use that. If someone dies within a minute, we should have had it for Gundren. And we hadn't found it. But Scroll of Silence, I think I can learn that.
Okay.
Unless someone, no one else can learn, right? It'll just be a one-off. Okay, so what level of silence?
Level 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. I might use my my inspiration that I have.
All right. I think the Baron's kind of showed off Stinky American.
No, I'm not showing off. Can it still help?
I mean, you either roll with advantage or not. I guess that's.
Yeah. So okay, we're gonna get. No, I want American's help.
Okay.
For sure.
Cool.
Okay.
It's a nice bonding moment between you two.
Yeah.
Despite
You
the
definitely
smell.
helped us.
I do
natural
appreciate that. I appreciate he's not making any comments about my stench.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I've been in the same position.
We are bonded by cheese.
All right, so you've got
So I got a
silence.
natural 20.
You've got silence and ray of sickness added to your book, which is just fantastic. So those always prepared. They're always ready to go now.
No, I means I can prepare them. It means that I
cool.
know them,
Yeah, cool.
and if I prepare them in a long rest, I can use them.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Cool. Is there anything else that anyone needs to do before we call it a night?
I would like to address the party.
Mm-hmm.
I stand up near the fire and look over everybody, and I just say, listen, we came all this way to save Gundren, and we failed. However, as I've gotten to know you all, I've come to recognize that you all do have immense courage and moral fortitude. Together we have fought for justice and the protection of the weak. This black spider, what do we know? We know that they seek great ancient magical power and that they are willing to kill to keep those secrets. One who seeks power such as this, they always seek dominion over others. This must be checked. You've shown that you're willing to fight for the protection of the weak. It seems it may fall to us to do it again. Are you all with me?
Yes.
A rousing food
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic.
I will have to bring you to my cafe that I hang out in, where we do spoken word. They would love it.
Oh, thank you so much, Brian. Your kindness shines this night. And you see her dark demeanor lighten a little and a little bit of glow come into her eyes. A gentler glow than you're used to.
This would have been like almost perfect for Billy Goblin to appear and be like, I'm in.
His hand disappears in front of the fire. Like,
Just like comes in and everyone, hey.
I say again, are you with me?
Indeed.
Yes, Sig, yes.
So with like Sig and American's hands kind of like in the go team pose, Bill gets to his feet and just steps forward and says, I gotta be honest, I didn't expect anyone to accept Bill. That's why I thought I needed Gil. I thought I needed that person, but you've all proved me wrong. I'm in. I place my hand atop theirs.
We've got one hand quite silently missing at the
Just
moment.
silently placed on top. It's just waiting for everyone to get themselves sorted.
Okay, cool.
I don't need to say anything. It's like
Loris just slams his hand down on top of everyone else's hand. Go team!
Any excuse to kill something, it's all good.
Okay, cool.
I hope he didn't say that out loud.
No, that was,
Oh God! Way to ruin it.
well,
Everyone just withdraws their hands like. Oh.
yep. Not what we agreed. That's what Lawrence thought he heard anyway. Yeah.
And Duran kind of sheepishly puts his hand on top and says, I'll do what I can, but you all have taught me something these last couple of days, and I'm starting to wonder where I need to be and the things I need to do to right what I have wronged. Once we reach Phandelver, for now, I think I may separate from you. But I'm sure we will meet again. Yeah, sorry if I made this awkward. And he just sort of withdraws his hand as from the pile.
That's okay, Duran. You always do, and we're used to it now.
Sig pipes up. Duran, any battle that you can walk away with your own legs has been a good battle. Thank you for your assistance.
And he nods.
Indeed.
He nods at each of you in turn, and gets up and moves off to his sleeping area. Are you guys following suit? Are we calling it a night? Are we gonna give you guys the much needed long rest?
Indeed.
Okay, cool. We'll disappear off this map for a little. I really just wanted to set the scene for. It made it look like there was going to be some kind of cool encounter, but it was really I just wanted to set the scene for you guys.
Very loud cicadas.
Oh, was it
As
quite
I
loud
drift
outside?
up,
That was brilliant.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, well, are those cicadas real? No, it's wintertime. And as I drift off to sleep, I just mumble, oh, I can't actually learn silence. Wizards can't learn it.
So you've described it perfectly into your book, but every time you've tried it, it just does nothing.
Aw.
Fat lot of good being a wizard is.
Before Brian goes to sleep, I request him to read just a little bit more of that filthy book about the funny little dwarf man.
The Adventures of Ermon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of it by heart now, so I can read it.
Story time.
I'm not going to put Shannon through the pain of actually having to make something up on the spot. Unless he's got something. He may have prepared something.
It will be way too X-rated, I think. We would
Okay.
just cut to the fireplace.
Yeah. The camera pans to the starry sky above as you hear Mirakin giggle to the baritone voice of the Baron.
50 Shades of Ermon.
The camera pans back down to it's a bit of a chilly morning this time. The fire is long since been extinguished, and you guys where are you guys heading from here?
To Phandelver.
Oh, we're heading straight back to Phandelver. Fantastic. Makes it a bit easier, I guess, than trying to create some kind of zoo episode for you guys.
I was so looking forward to a zoo episode.
So Craigmore Castle was sort of due north of the forking between the Tribal Trail and the road leading to Phandelver. So you guys are on your horses for maybe a good half a day before you find the Tribal Trail and continue across it. I'm just going to prepare something. And I'll bring you guys onto another little map. As you make your way further down this the Tribal Trail, you see a character making his way down the path in front of you. He's maybe a good 6'2" tall, He looks cat-like. Some of you may have heard of tabaxi before. Some of you may have even met them. But it's been these are quite rare creatures. He's carrying a relatively large backpack on his back. And he's just making his way up the path. Sort of almost to head up the past where you guys stand. He sees you and stops in his tracks. He looks you all over and says, "Oh, well met, adventurers. How goes your day?"
Salutations, sir.
I am Needle, and I am a traveling emporium. Well, tabaxi. Are you perchance in need of any of my fineries? And he opens up a small zipper on the side of his backpack, and you can see just a bunch of small bits and pieces within the backpack.
Fineries? I would love to look at such things.
Let's have a look. He says, "Oh, well, an elf like you, I'm sure I can find something in here." And he delves into... He sort of puts one hand deep into his pack and pulls out like a sword, like a sheath for a sword. He says, I have here the sheath of ire, which of course you would understand as being the elven word for sharp, no doubt, my lady.
But of course.
And he holds up this rather ugly looking, just like, it looks like a common sheath. But he's like, "This I think will find you well. Any sword of any size, of any shape, will indeed fit this sheath."
Ooh. Can I try it?
Yeah, and he's a little hesitant. He says, "Try? Well, to try you must buy."
Well, can you show me that it works? I want to see.
As you can see, I have not a sword on my body. I'm not sure how I should be able to prove this to you.
We'll loan you one.
Sid takes his sword off his back and passes it to the man.
Okay, he like almost sheepishly takes the sword from you. And he looks at the sword. He says, "This is a fine sword. Where did you come across this?"
Indeed, it is a fine blade. I can't remember where I found this particular one, but I've killed lots of goblins with it. You can see the few bloodstains on it. I'm wondering if your sheath will help with that.
Well, let's see. And he places the sheath on his hip, sort of attaches it to his belt as easily as he can. And he grabs your sword and just places the tip of the sword up against the sheath. And the sheath looks too small, but you see the sheath grow in size to the size of the sword you've handed him. And he doesn't place the sword into it. He says, "And there you have it. You can see this sheath will change to whatever size sword you need it to fit."
A fine product, sir.
"And it could be yours for the low price of 15 gold pieces, don't you worry."
That's reasonable.
"But I must warn you, the use of this sheath will..." And you see his lips moving, but as he tries to explain this sheath further, no words can be heard. And he finishes his sentence. "So don't say I didn't warn you."
But you didn't.
Strange.
What do you mean I
Nothing strange
didn't?
about that.
What was that? Sorry, Shannon?
Nothing strange about that, American. It's like,
"You drive a hard bargain, I'll put it down to a measly 8 gold pieces, but I must insist that you take this off my hands."
do you have any smoking material or? Feel free to.
Can I do an insight or an arcana arcana on to see if there's some kind of enchantment on this guy or something?
You can give me an arcana roll. Yeah, check.
I have rolled a critical fail, which makes it a 3.
Yeah.
Did anyone want to help?
No American.
Is anyone else keeping an eye on what's going on here?
You're like eyeing up like a small shrub next to him.
No.
You're looking him over, and it doesn't. With your knowledge of magic, he seems fine.
Let's just say I'm just so charmed by his cat-like appearance. I just positively trust him. Every word he says.
Excuse me, sir. Before we spend our coin, I wonder what other items you have.
And he hands you your sword back. Thank you for the lending of your sword. So it's no to the sheath.
I'm still thinking about it, but I don't want to spend my 7 gold pieces
Yes.
when you could have had something else.
Yes, very good. Well, a big man like you, I imagine you must find it quite hard to go around stealthy like, I bet, yes?
Indeed, I'm a bit clankety lately.
And he quickly just like with cat-like reflexes just pushes his paw into his bag and pulls it back out with a small ring held within his hands. He says, "This is the ring of Invisi. A small, but trust me, like he holds it up and you can see the words written, inscribed on the inside of the ring of Invisi. And there looks to be like some more small scratches after it, but you can't make out what the rest of it is. And he says,
Just like,
when
look at his ears.
well, why, thank you. But let me explain this small, beautiful ring. Once worn on the finger.
What?
And then it will become visible again. John. Phil.
Just while he's like speaking silently, I'm just gonna survey our group
Okay.
and just see that everybody is seeing the same thing that Bill is seeing. Like just try to like.
I'm seeing this. I'm
Yeah.
seeing that he's talking with no.
I'm going to get closer as he's speaking. So.
I'm just gonna say,
And he looks curiously at you. He looks curious at the Baron, like sort of leaning forward. Are you having trouble, sir?
You seem to fade off there. I couldn't hear the explanation part.
Look, I'll speak up a little louder for you then. When you wear the ring...
Is this adorable fellow pranking
and
us?
it'll become visible again.
Well, how about I pay you? And then you can... How about that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Don't make me repeat myself.
This fine peridot ring of Invisi will set you back 25 gold pieces, a little more than the sheath I showed you earlier, sure, but it's not often that you get to... until it
At this
becomes
point-
visible again.
At this point, Sig steps forward and looks through the path where he came from, and the path where we came from, and the other path to see if there is anyone lying in wait.
Give me a perception check.
Sig rolls a 16.
All right, with a roll of 16, everything you can hear the birds singing, the sun's shining. It's a little chillier this morning than it has been previously, but there doesn't seem to be anything standing out. You can't see any shadows lurking in any trees, any shrubs, or anything like that. It really is, from what you can see, just you, the rest of the crew, and this tabaxi going by the name of Needle. Fine, you guys, your silence is killing me here. I'll put it to an 18 gold piece. Bill?
so I'm going to try something. So I'm going to cast Message.
Ooh.
And I'm going to speak directly into his mind.
Mhm.
So pointing at the tabaxi, and I'm just saying, for some reason there appears to be some sort of interference. We can't hear the description. Can you repeat for me, and I can translate? And so basically, it's a message that goes into his mind, and he can respond with a message in my mind, and I can,
Right.
if that works, I can translate for the group. Is what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah. So, just having a look at any of the details there. So he hears this voice, and it takes him by surprise. He says, "Good sir, are you in my mind? I am a mere adventurer. What is happening?"
I say, sorry, but it doesn't appear as though there's something that doesn't want us to hear the description of these items. So I'm just trying to find out more from you.
I see what's happening here. Unfortunately, if you're not hearing the descriptions, what are my words? If they're coming out of silence, I'm not sure what I can do to help. These items are very rare.
Could you give me the description in my mind?
I will try. And you can hear again, he says, in your head you hear, when you put this ring on your finger, until it becomes visible again.
Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but can I try one more thing?
Sure.
Can I roll for lip reading, like insight or something?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll do whatever you've got better of, perception or insight. I'll let you roll.
My perception, they're equal.
Okay. Well, let's do perception then, because you're basically trying to. Is your investigation better?
My investigation is the same.
Okay. With a roll of 6, you're trying to read it. The last time he told you're trying to read his lips until you realize you've never done this before ever. You do make out the words invisible a couple of times because you've kind of pieced together, what he's been saying.
Yeah, it seems only fair to let it run its course after.
Yeah, this is one hell of a bargain. 15 gold pieces. I need to get rid of these items. I'm telling you, 15 is a steal. But maybe the big guy back there. I haven't seen a Goliath for quite some time, but let's. I think I've got something in here for you. And he throws the ring back into his back and just pulls out this adorable small teddy bear. He says, I imagine a big man like you hasn't had the chance of a luxury of a small teddy bear for quite some time. And he holds it up, and you think maybe you could hear a small cry of a child when he held it up, but you're not sure. You're not quite sure. It's quite old. It seems to be torn in places. It's missing one of its eyes. It's got little buttons for eyes, and it seems to be missing one. There's something a little eerie about it, a little cold, maybe. I don't know. There's something weird about it. And again, he tries to explain something about this toy bear.
It's got like a. Did any of us hear these? Cry of a small child? Or?
Yeah, you kind of think you may have heard it. You're not even sure if it was something.
That's going to pique our interest, surely.
While we're talking, can I cast Detect Magic?
Yeah, sure. How long does that take to...
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Can I roll insight on this furry little man to see if he is honest of heart and true of nature?
We'll say that the Baron has started that ritual from the moment that like you noticed the words were missing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look. And you want to roll insight, American. You're gonna check. What are you checking for? What are you looking for?
Like to look into his eyes and listen to the tone of his voice and see if his intent is to deceive.
Oh, yeah, okay. Give us an insight check.
I will. Oh, it's going to be bad, isn't it? I've rolled a 5.
Oh, goodness.
Does
anyone else want to help? Is that a thing?
I'm doing my ritual.
Yeah, so the Baron definitely can't help. You're not sure if you see. You're looking at his eyes. You're kind of really looking in there, and maybe it's just the fact that you've never seen a Tabaxi's eye in person before that you're not quite sure. You can't read him as well as you've been able to read others.
And his ears are just so cute.
And he says, "This small bear, 12 gold pieces, and I'm not going to haggle on this one. This is quite the bargain. Just remember that when you sleep, though, with this teddy bear..." "And it could be gone after that."
So I'm just going to basically, while he's busily talking around, he's gone quiet. I'm just rummaging around in my pouch, and I've pulled out 10 gold pieces. And I'm just going to hand it over to, or kind of reach out to him, and so he can see my hand, and I'll take it.
So you're going to take the teddy bear? Okay.
I'll take the teddy bear, but I'm only giving him 10 gold pieces.
"Well, who am I to argue with a big man in need of some softness?" And he hands you the teddy bear and gratefully accepts the 10 gold pieces, places it in a little pouch by his side. "While I do have many a thing, I do have other people in need of these items. Is there any interest in the other two that I showed, or shall we be on our way?" He's got a bit of a smile. He's got what's that?
Busy.
Oh, the Ring of Invisi?
I'm interested in it, but I'm waiting if my my magic thing pings off.
Okay, yeah, yeah. He we'll say that this conversation, this interaction, has taken enough time for this detect magic to be cast. Everything about him to you is glowing. He's glowing. His bag is glowing. The item that he just handed Loris is glowing. The sheath hanging from his side is also glowing. There is a lot of magic here. Is there any sort of what's the word? Is there any sort of detail that the detect magic can show that I can help you out with, or is it magic? Just glows, right?
It's like auras around.
Yeah.
Different things.
So he is just.
You learn at School of Magic, I believe, don't you?
Ooh,
Which school of magic the magic originates from is part of the spell? Because I believe I also have this ritual.
That could be possible.
That could be good.
I have put it in the chat, I think.
Is it the? Oh yeah. Does it say?
So it tells you what the school of magic is, if any.
Ooh. Okay. Is it the school of trickery?
What schools are there? I need to.
Illusion.
Illusion.
Sorry, everyone was just talking over each other just then. Shannon, what schools are there?
Divination, abjuration, illusion, necromancy,
Evocation.
conjuration.
Enchantment.
There's a few.
Yeah. So, all right. So you notice that this is the enchantment. Belongs to the enchantment school of magic.
Enchanting. But where something I would know, hopefully that something invisible wouldn't really be enchanting, would it? It would be some other kind of...
Yeah. Everything there's the aura around him, his big backpack, everything. And Needle says to Loris, he remember. Oh, I just remembered. An old Needle has a very special deal on right now. If any group of adventurers buys anything, they get a free bag of holding. And he reaches into his bag and just throws a bag of holding towards.
Almost too good to be true.
Don't say Needle doesn't look after you.
I'll give you 2 gold pieces for the ring.
2 gold pieces. He's struggling. He's struggling with that. This is really tearing him up inside. He clearly wants to get rid of it. 2 gold pieces. 2 gold pieces. And the friendly nature of his face is just kind of disappeared in frustration. And it softens again almost as quickly as it returned to frustration. And he says, "Make it 6 and it's yours."
6. How about 4? 4 and a steal. That's all I can do. The rest is going. I've already been on drugs.
4, yes. And he forces a big smile and reaches into his bag and says, "There you go, 4 gold pieces for the ring of Invisi. But don't, like I said, don't say I didn't warn you about the risks of using it."
No, you definitely did that. I hold out a piece of paper and get him to put it in to the paper.
And he just wraps it up into that piece of paper for you and hands it back to you. You've already got your bag of holding, so there's nothing more free that old Needle can give.
Could old Needle write down the things you were trying to say to us?
Oh, I wish I could, but I have yet to learn the ways of the scribe.
It's totally trustworthy.
Bill looks curious.
Yeah, Bill.
I have. I want to ask him if there's anything else. If he has anything else for trade.
Knowing what's in the bag, I really only could recommend the sheath at my side. I have other purchases for the things remaining, and I would hate to see them go without. Their fates are already entwined with the items. Reese?
Can you guys hear me a little bit?
Yep, certainly can.
So Sig has just realized he's momentarily dozed off, looking for threats approaching down the different pathways. And he turns back to the group to see if anyone else wants that sweet, sweet sheath.
It's all yours.
Mr. Needle, what was your asking price for that fine sheath
I don't quite remember anymore. I think it was about 10 gold pieces. I believe I brought it down. So,
Yes.
6 gold pieces.
I'm pretty sure it was 11 gold pieces. Here you are,
Yes,
sir.
11 sounds
And Sig
much better.
hands over 11 pieces.
And he takes
of
it.
gold.
He takes the 11 gold and he unclips the sheath from his side and hands it, both hands outstretched, to Sig. And he all he says is, "Just be careful with that, yes? Like I said."
Oh, it looks very
I
good.
didn't want that.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
No,
Bill.
I got one more trick up my sleeve. I know I said I wouldn't, but I'm gonna try.
Go, Bill.
Looking at the tabaxi, I just point up to a point in the air just above him,
And he looks up.
past Zone of Truth.
Okay, great. That's fantastic.
So creatures make a save, and they can choose to fail it if they wish.
So what's the
and I
save?
say,
Are we in the zone of truth?
we're all in the Zone of Truth.
And how does
Party game.
what's the saving roll? What is it?
The saving throw is 14,
Um,
and it is a... One moment. Charisma.
Oh, charisma. Okay. He's got pretty good charisma, this guy. He's only rolled a 6. Total of 6. So the zone of truth, he looks up. Does he see anything when he looks up?
Yeah, so there's a golden cone that kind of sheathes us in its light. This is kind of a big deal for Bill. This was part of his coming to between being Gil and being Bill, and some of the choices that he made, and deciding that this would be him kind of repenting, part of his repentance. So basically, with Zone of Truth, if they fail to save, he can't speak a deliberate lie.
Right.
And
he just looks down at you and says, and
he's kind of aware.
That was a very pretty thing you just did.
And so I say, could you just run us through those items we bought one more time?
Yeah, certainly. So the teddy bear, like I said to the big man, you go to...
For fuck's sake.
Why don't we try asking him a
And then
different
it'll
question?
hopefully gone in the morning.
Dear sir,
Y-
are you aware that you are not making any sounds when you talk?
And he kind of freezes at that question. And he kind of shakes a little bit and just nods slowly but really quite forced up and down.
Does this ring make you invisible?
He snaps too, and I'm just checking the item again. Yes, it absolutely can.
It doesn't have any bad effects if you put it on.
And again, he stiffens up, and his eyes glaze over, and his voice changes completely.
You will get no answers from the tabaxi. He is mine.
Normal, totally normal.
Not so cute,
backing
kitty.
away.
And his eyes
away.
kind of go back to normal. And he says, "So yes, it can totally make you invisible."
Thank you. I'm just going to hang up this book.
6 steps forward. Have you encountered a creature called Nesnar?
Oh no, not at all. Is this a friend of yours?
No. How about someone called Glassstaff?
A person named Glassstaff? Are you sure it's not just Glassstaff your friend's holding over there? Is that Glassstaff?
Some people call
Have
it
you
that.
met a person called Glassstaff?
If the person holding the Glassstaff is named Glassstaff, then I guess I've just met him. You haven't shared your names with me, so I'm going to assume that is indeed Glassstaff, the strangest name that I have heard. But yes, I believe I have now met Glassstaff.
Have you
Rapidly
encountered
losing
someone
patience with
recently
this?
with significant magical powers that could have dominated your mind?
And again, he tenses up. And again, you just hear,
You will get no answers from the tabaxi.
Sig looks to the party. Should we take him to Phandelver with us? It seems like he's unwell of some description.
"Oh, I have no need of Phandelver. I need to deliver these items of mine. Like I said, the people who deserve these items have already had their fates entwined with them, so I must deliver. If there is nothing else you need from me, and I do not believe I have anything more for you, then we shall be on our way."
He's out of here like Top Cat.
And
You know,
he goes to move between you guys and head towards the east.
he's totally been mind controlled, right, Sig?
Indeed. I've only read about it once, but I didn't write down how to cure it or what to do about it.
Yeah.
Um,
We'd
He's
need
totally-
some kind of fancy cleric or something, maybe.
And he's just heading off.
Slowly going.
Yeah. So if there's anything you want from him before he goes, let me know, because otherwise he's on his way. Sick.
Shall we? Do you want to knock him out and take him back?
And is he saying this out loud?
Hopefully, so he can't hear it.
He's got cat ears.
He's just whispering it to us as he walks away.
He's very
He's a
perceptive.
cat.
He hears that and he says, "And I'm out of here," and he just runs.
Well, I knew that would fucking happen.
And he's gone.
Well, at least I got an amazing
Stage right.
Yeah.
gold ring.
Excellent. I totally should have given him that voice. Excellent. Stage right. Ah, damn it.
Heaven's to Murgatroyd.
All right.
Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd.
What was his name?
All right. And that was your encounter with Needle.
Why, Needle? Why? That
I feel
poor
bad for him.
cat man seemed to have some sort of demon.
And you guys
I don't know anything about such things, but it seems like a rough lot to have in life.
And you guys have just continued down towards Phandelver then? Is that where we're at?
I suppose, but I'm just thinking about the possessed cat man now.
All right, so Loris,
It's a very concerning thing to come upon.
Loris has himself a nice little teddy bear. Baron's got himself the ring of Invisi, and Sig has a sheath. Now you've put the ring of Invisi inside a small little, wrapped up in a small piece of paper. Is that right, Baron?
Yes. I'm trying not to make any contact with my skin.
Okay, cool. Oh, by the way,
Perhaps
American.
we can study these artifacts later.
By the way, American, you have you're no longer reek of cheese, but the ring on your hand is now glowing a nice golden color. Yeah.
True, the cheese ring that was quite trying, frankly, to smell like. So, does anyone else want the stinky ring?
Bag's not.
No.
I care not of what I smell like.
Here you go,
The cheese
Sig.
tasted pretty well.
The cheese was good. The aftermath, not so.
Yeah.
Thank you, American.
All right, so you've handed Reese the cheese ring, so that's cool. How many holes were left on that cheese ring, American?
Some. 3.
Sig
Okay.
inspects the ring to count the holes.
Okay. It sounds like there are three holes left on that cheese ring, and you place it into your finger, and it changes. It shifts its shape to fit your finger as well. Not unlike that sheath that you've got. Now, what are you doing with that sheath? Are you just keeping it by your side? Are you
Sig
utilizing
has
it?
currently equipped his sword into the sheath of ire.
Oh, okay. What I will get you to do is roll a D3. This is for while you're pushing the sword into the sheath. I need a D3 roll from you.
Can you describe the shape of a D3?
It's haven't you seen them? They're these weird kind of long. They're out there. If you Google them, they're kind of a very weird shape. You're gonna go roll. There we go. Nope. Slash roll. Space 1D3.
Sig starts to force the short sword into the sheath, and he rolls a 2.
Oh, it opens. The sheath opens to fit your sword, and you place your sword within it. You now have a sheathed sword. Cool. That's it.
What? Amazing!
It seems to be doing the exact job that a sheath should do.
Except it's small. Yes?
No, it's changed the shape to make sure it's.
Oh,
fit.
so the sheath gets extra big.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
grows.
it shrunk the sword
No.
down.
No. It grows.
Okay.
It grows to fit the sword.
That'd be cool if the sword shrunk like Sport Billy. I don't know if you remember Sport Billy's little bag, and it was had like a tiny tennis racket, and pull it out, and it becomes a normal sized tennis racket.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And you just so you guys are aware, you've also got a bag of holding now. So just to make it easier carrying all of the stuff that you guys have got.
Should we put Gundren in that?
I don't know if the bag would open wide enough for Gundren. Yeah, it's still just a normal sized bag.
Sig
Would the
just talks.
sheath open wide enough?
The sheath only opens for swords. I mean, you could tie a sword. You could tie a sword to his leg and try.
Oh,
No.
clever.
It's not.
It was a jest.
I am a newbie, remember? So everyone's like, "Oh yeah, bag of holding." I'm like, "I think I've heard of that." So can you, like, is that something my character would know what it is?
Yeah,
like
like
a single-use plastic
it's a bag that holds thing. I think is what I've figured out so far.
it's got New World written on the side. No, it's basically you can just keep filling that thing up. It's like it holds. It's like a portal into another storage dimension.
Sweet.
Essentially removes encumbrance.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
carrying
Can you
it.
take anything out at any time?
Anything
Do you
that
have
you
to like
put
get in
in.
there and rummage?
No, you can just anything
No,
that you
just reach
want. You just reach in and you can grab it and pull it out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think about the thing,
Oh my
reach your
god.
hand in and grab it out.
Yeah.
What's your rules, DM, on like living things in that bag? Like, are they suspended animation? Do they get cut off from oxygen? Like,
In my head, they'll get cut off from oxygen. You're putting it into this random portal of just storage. Really, it's not for creating a bag of zoo or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah. Cool.
Really.
All right,
Well-
so currently the bag of holding has the teddy bear inside it. And the bag is inside my backpack, and that is.
Okay. Cool.
What was the teddy bear called again? Did it have a specific name, or was it
No,
just?
it was just a small teddy bear.
just a random teddy bear.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can name it, Loris.
I will when I look at it later.
Okay. Cool. So if
Call it Duran.
It might not survive the night if I call it.
Yeah.
please, for the love of God, no. So are we just heading now directly to Phandelver? We can fast travel you guys
Yep.
to Phandelver.
I agree.
On the way, I want to just say that the guy was obviously being possessed, and I think Sig, you have the right guess, the same guess as me. It might not be right, but the guy that we're after, what's his name? Zoltar Lesnar.
Black Spider.
He's obviously possessed, but if we kill the Black Spider, maybe that will remove the curse from the cat.
Let's
Otherwise,
try.
I don't know how to do it.
What makes you think it was the black spider, though?
I think they know about us. Like, who else is like, plotting against us? We've killed their goblins. I don't know if they know about us killing Castle Cragmore, all the people in Castle Cragmore, all the red brands. They got to be trying to get some kind of revenge.
I'm glad we picked up all their items then.
Yeah.
They could be cursed. We'll see.
Cool. So you guys head towards Phandelver again. There's something a little different about Phandelver, as it seems to be every time you venture towards Phandelver. For the first time in what has been a very long time, you see two guards stationed at the northern entrance. And they're quite happy to see you. Duran waves out to them. He seems to recognize them and turns to you all and says, this, like I said, is where I must leave. Please, when you are done with the horses, return them to my orchard. If I am there to receive them, then so be it. But I feel it may be some time before we see each other again. There are, like I said, some wrongs I do need to right.
Sig steps forward and says, "Thank you, Duran," and then shakes his hand, but like holds his forearm like a sweet, like Viking handshake, like that.
Yeah, nice.
Mm.
Yeah. And he goes around shaking all of your hands. It has been a pleasure for the most part, this journey that we have had together. And I wish you all well with whatever comes next in your adventures. And he just heads. If there's anything, did you want to talk to him before he leaves?
Yeah. I'll never forget how good you are at shooting that shrub. One shot. Can we leave Gundren with you? Or you can pass him to Sildar or whatever. I just know that maybe if you could contact his family give him a nice burial. We don't want to bury him on the side of the road.
Yeah, I can maybe talk to Sister Garael about how she would like to deal with Gundren's passing.
Okay. He's basically 10 minutes after he died. He's in the same state.
Right.
And I would have just spent 10 minutes just before, so it'll last another 10 days.
Right. Okay, and he's fine. So let's just assume that Gundren is on the back of Duran's horse as Duran rides off towards the orchard, taking Gundren with him. As he disappears, the guards welcome you into Phandelver, and past them, you see a familiar face of Sildar walking up the road towards you.
The old man survived.
Yeah, he's looking a lot better than the last time you saw him, and he's holding he's smoking a cigarette, one of the ones that the Baron dropped off.
Oh God, he killed
Oh,
it.
no, you gave him an addiction.
He's got any fears.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And he doesn't wave out. He's looking a little solemn, and he's walking up towards you, and he says, "Please tell me it's not true, Gundren. Is it true?"
Sig walks forward and hands him his shield. His sword and his armor.
Carry on.
We rescued this much. Alas, no much more.
So it wasn't a dream. Oh boy, this really is something. And he's looking pretty dejected about hearing that this was indeed true.
What was true, Sildar?
I'm glad one of you finally asked.
Indeed.
Last night Gundren visited via apparition. He told me of his passing. He told me how he was finally with his brothers, or at least he thought he would have been with his brothers once again. It turns out only one other brother has passed on. He's urging me to find his other brother, Nundro.
Nundro?
And
one other brother has passed on. Wait, how many brothers does he have, and how many are still alive?
So Sildar sort of reminds you that Gundren, what was the other one's name? Tharden and Nundro, the Rockseeker brothers, were the ones that found the Wave Echo Cave. And it was believed that Nesna had killed both Tharden and Nundro.
But one of them's still alive.
He said it was incredibly important for the Forge of Spells to be protected. And he explains the Forge of Spells a little more. He says how Gundren told him that the Forge of Spells was used to create or enchant powerful weapons and armor. And that the reason Nesna was at the Wave Echo Cave and had killed what he thought had killed both his brothers was to get to this forge and create just a plentiful array of weapons and armors enchanted to be able to take on Faerun, basically.
Sildar, we have tracked down the location of this Nesna in the Wave Echo Cave. Will you venture with us to slay him?
If you need my sword, you've got it. I owe Gundren. I owe everything to Gundren.
Well, we did have your sword, but I gave it back to you, so technically you've got it now. So
that's what I said. I've got my sword now. Thank you.
Yes.
Put it in that new scabbard you got.
You want me to put my sword in another man's sheath?
Oh, don't.
That is a little strict.
Yeah, lewd.
It's 20 to 9.
Indeed.
Yeah. But just which dwarf was alive? You got Tharden and Nundro.
He
So
told me
Nandro's still alive.
that he had basically managed to reconvene with his brother Tharden in the afterlife. He was surprised that Nundro was not there either. It can only mean Nundro is alive somewhere.
Or he's in hell.
Well, I mean, if you want to
You can't say it to his face.
And he just starts sobbing. No.
All right. Throwing it out there.
Just throwing it out there.
Very good, Sildar. Are you ready to depart?
If we need to leave now, then leave we shall. I've got everything I need here. And he takes that armor from you and starts putting it on. Is there anything we need before we head off?
What time is it?
It's again, you've spent probably a day of travel, so you'd probably getting around the 7 o'clock at night mark at the moment. But you guys you've got all your health, you've got all your magic slots. It's up to you, spell slots. It's up to you what you guys want to do from here.
Do
I used to
you
live
have-
up this spell slot for Zone of Truth.
Of course, yeah.
Did he say anything about where Nundro might be? Or at least where we know he was the last time we heard about him?
I mean, there's only one place he could be. Him and Tharden were at Wave Echo Cave when Nesnar attacked. I can only imagine Nundro is still with Nesnar. Maybe he's trying to evade him. Maybe he managed to escape. I'm not sure. But it doesn't seem like the kind of thing the Black Spider would allow.
Thank you, Sildar, for sharing your dream.
Well, I don't know
Do
if
you know,
it was
is
a
it-
dream anymore, was it? You've shown that Gundren's dead, so
Could have just been a coincidence.
it could have, I guess.
Sildar, do you know, does anyone in Phandelver sell health potions?
Not sure. I'm not quite sure. There's the only health potions I've come across were the ones you left with Sister Gariel, and even she was reluctant to use them.
I can make them. Do not forget that.
Well, there we go.
Very good. Perhaps we should prepare what we can, and then think about when we should depart for Wave Echo Cave. I'm keen to get there as soon as possible. Hopefully Nundro is still alive. What say you guys? Sig looks to the group.
I have some business in town here. I would like to spend the evening, collect ourselves, and then head out come first light.
A wise plan, Mr. Gill and Mr. Bill. You.
I get it. It's confusing. You should try to keep the accents straight.
It's a daily struggle.
Well, what exactly are you needing, Sir Bill?
I thought I might visit the good sister.
Yeah,
That's all.
oh, fair. Whereabouts is did you leave Gundren's body where it lay?
No, we brought it back. Duran has stewardship currently.
Okay, well, if we need to see Sister Gariel, then let's do this. So, again, it's probably about 7 o'clock at night. Sildar explains that Sister Gariel is usually tending to the Shrine of Luck around this time. So if you guys wanted to head down to the Shrine of Luck, you're welcome to do so.
I'd like to ask Bill, is this between you and her, or would you like us to accompany you?
I mean, you're free to come along if you'd like. It's going to be boring. I don't think it would.
And that makes for great
Going to be
listening.
boring.
All right.
Mr. Lawrence, will you take a drink while these two are off doing their thing?
We should go to the pub.
I'll go to the pub.
Go to the inn.
Wasn't there a good pub around here?
Let's go to the Stonehill. I like the
Stonehill's
ale
the
there.
Oh.
That was the one without all the blood in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
the Stonehill's the one without the blood.
That's right.
I have to spend some time looking at investigating the teddy bear while Bill's doing his thing.
Yes, I mean, you've got either the Stonehill Inn or the Sleeping Giant. The last time you guys were in the Sleeping Giant, it did end up with a lot of dead band. Oh, actually, I think the last time you were in there, Bill and Gil had a bit of a face-off. It was a little bit tidied up after that, but it was very empty compared to what the Stonehill Inn might have.
Stonehill.
All right, so you guys...
Let's go to the Stonehill.
Let's go see Harbin.
We'll start with you guys going into the inn at first. And American is 100% right. As you may remember, the Harbin, the once townsmaster, swapped roles with the inn master at the Stonehill, and you guys enter to a joyous Harbin, recognizing you instantly. Guys, oh my God, you guys, free drinks for the heroes.
Sounds like he's been having a few free drinks as well.
Made my mouth way too small on that overlay. It's amazing.
Oh, it's absolutely lovely to see you this jolly, Harbin. In life seems to be treating you quite well.
Yes, this is much easier than taking on the responsibilities of the entire town. And that just... And that fades to black as we swap over to Bill, sorry, walking over to the Shrine of Luck, standing in front of the shrine.
We're never going to get there, right?
I didn't know how long we wanted to spend with Harvin. I figured we just wanted a quick cameo, and that was enough.
More.
No more of the drunk fat man.
So I think seeing Sister Guriel like kind of in prayer, crouched by the Shrine of Luck, Bill takes up a similar pose, and I think like her kind of acknowledging or like a little subtle, like I know you're there kind of thing. Bill kind of just nods his head and says, "Sister," and takes up a similar pose.
Mm-hmm. And she nods.
And then Bill's just going to recount what's happened, outlining what happened with Gundren, the movements of the spider is kind of told by, or is kind of known to Bill, like what appears to be going on, and on our way back we met this troubling tabaxi fella. Didn't appear to be completely under his own steam, so to speak.
And she's just listens, nods, and
Possessed, you might call it, or at the very least, betrothed.
And what exactly was he doing that concerned you so?
Peddling wares, of which we, of course, bought.
And they were unfair prices?
Oh, the prices were more than fair. They were bargains.
Well, I hardly think you need to be possessed to give a bargain to some weary travelers.
Well, the strange thing of it was every time he explained what they did, neither voice nor magic could reach the description.
She goes a little more tense, and she does a quick hand signal in front of her, and she says, "Cursed. He was cursed." I have seen this before. The inability to explain oneself means he's been cursed to never speak of what he is doing.
I see. Well, we'll carry on as best we can. We left Gundren with Duran.
Gundren, he's alive?
He's not.
Oh.
He's the Baron placed him in a state of suspended animation. But anything you or the guild could do would be incredibly helpful.
Well, you know how I feel and how the Harpers feel about the use of magic. We believe once the body has passed, it becomes one with the land once more. This is something you must come to understand now that you are one of us, Bill.
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
There are surely people in places much larger than Phandelver who could maybe help you. But I'm afraid if you need our help, all we can do is bring him back to the land.
Maybe that's the right thing to do. Anyway, do you have any instructions for me?
Only one, and that is before you leave, to merely rub your forehead against this stone here at the Shrine of Luck, and you will be blessed by the shrine.
Are you playing a jape on me like I did on old Soloros back there?
She's not smiling or laughing back. She just leans. She's already in that kneeling position. She just leans down and places her forehead on the stone and just rubs it back and forth a couple of times before getting back into her kneeling position.
I guess if you can look silly, I can look silly. And I'll emulate her.
Okay, cool. As you do so, any time that you're within Phandelver for the next 24 hours, any rolls that you do will be at advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll, once we've done all that, I'll head to the Stonehill.
Okay, great. We cross back to the Stonehill Inn. What are you guys up to in here?
Well, free ale.
Yeah, you guys have already been served with whatever it is you want to drink. The Baron's got his honey mead. That's no, he doesn't want any more of that. The honey mead
that's sticky shit.
Yeah, really took its toll.
Just whatever. Yeah, I'll just grab. It did me a bad headache last time, so I'm just going to grab a bunch of as much wine as I can get.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are all seated, drinking up, and eating up as well. Is there anything? How would you like to spend the last hours of the stay?
So while I'm sort of just drinking my ale, I've kind of reached and I've got this teddy bear, and I'm just kind of got it sitting on my hand. I'm assuming it's sort of yay big, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of got it set on my hand. I'm kind of looking at it, tossing it up and down, feeling its weight, looking around, just trying to figure out if it just looks like a stock standard teddy bear, not that I have an idea that I know what that is.
Yeah,
but
like I said, it's missing one of its eyes. It looks a little torn in some places. It definitely looks old. It's got a few, I don't know, stains. It's just discoloration. It's got a bit of discoloration to it.
So it looks like it's been well used.
Yeah, it isn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say well used, but it's been
Well loved.
It's been
Loved,
well
yeah.
loved.
Well loved. Thank you.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
Yeah. Is it soft and comforting kind of? Is it squishy? What's it feel like?
yeah. It just feels like almost velvety to the touch. It's got probably almost not enough padding in it now. It looks like maybe it's been squeezed a little too much. And as you turn it over, you just think for a moment that was that carp laughing in the background? It's like a kid's laughter somewhere. I don't know. There's something, but the more you look at it, the more something just feels off with this teddy bear.
Are the rest of us hearing this?
I think at this point, Loris is the only one that heard that laughter.
Right.
And even he's not 100% sure he heard it.
Okay. So, keep drinking, tossing it up just all night.
Yeah,
It's going to be the rest.
Roll the thing!
All the things. I may even try and offer it a beer every now, a sip of ale occasionally, just
Oh,
because.
so cute!
That's adorable.
I'm just going to elbow Baron and just be like, Brian, look, he loves it. And meanwhile, I'm just trying to get, I'm also trying to get jolly with Baron and playing with my spiders and trying to get him to kiss them and stuff. Like, look how cute! And just trying to touch them. They love you.
It's like,
Give them a kiss. Aren't they cute?
I think I preferred it when you smell like cheese. I didn't want to kiss the spiders.
She's just like, the ale's gone to her head and she's just
Yeah.
Cheap
the
date.
spiders.
Maybe if I'm going to turn in though, because we have to. I'm actually, for once, thinking about catching this motherfucker that's cursing tabaxis, or possessing them, and has killed Gundren, all that sort of shit. So
Right,
I'm just going to go get deadly drunk in my room.
Maybe not deadly drunk, just sort of pass out sleepy drunk.
I only do one mode.
Yeah. All right. So is that the consensus? Everyone's just going to turn in for the night.
Yeah.
Bill succeeds to the crowd's demands of an encore rendition of the song he's now called Tribal Trail.
Before you get into that, the one thing you need to be aware is that everyone is chanting Gil's name.
Yeah.
They're not aware. They aren't aware at all.
I take the stage and just common typo. It's Bill.
And you hear murmurings like, is he speaking differently now? What is this, a new persona or something? And there's a little bit of confusion before they just Bill. Like they're just into it.
Yeah, and then I just launch into the song.
Are you gonna give it to us again, or?
No, I'm not gonna. I made a patch to never repeat a song.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair enough.
It kind of makes sense that I would play the same song for them.
You're a little more practiced, and they're a little more excited to hear you. So I'll get a performance roll with advantage from you, please.
Oh yeah. Plus, also, it's very hard to redo it after what's his face did it.
Yeah.
Robot. What's his name?
Blame the robot.
Blame the robot.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
Way too good.
Yeah. Well, you've rolled pretty high. You rolled a 13 plus a nice 5, so a total of 18. The crowd is loving you, and I think while Bill is playing, and the people that are within the tavern are getting into it, the rest of you slowly making your way up to the bedrooms that have been prepared for you, and call it a night. Are you guys doing anything in your bedrooms, or are we just going to fast forward to the morning? Cool. In the middle. Oh, sorry. Yep.
Can I try to teach my spiders how to use their poison on my blades?
Yes, I would say that you need to use like you can either do it by taking a lot of hours, right, over numerous days, or you've got speak with animals. You can basically just say this is how you do it to you, but it requires
you
a spell
do
slot.
Unfortunately, I do not have that spell prepared. Although I could prepare it during the long rest and use it in the morning.
You could totally do that if you want, but then you start the
So
day without
may-
a spell slot spent.
But I love my baby, so it is worth it.
All right, okay. Well, okay, what we'll do is we'll speed through to the morning. Loris, you're woken up in the middle of the night by this child's voice. You can't really make out.
Don't give me nightmares. if you give a crazy anger, like just give me some other reason to be angry because I'm tired.
What I'm going to need to get from you again is a similar roll as Sig, just a roll of a D3.
A D3.
Yeah, it's just roll.
How do you do that again?
Just / roll.
1D3. / roll.
Space 1D3.
1D3. All right. I rolled a 3.
I guess you're kind of, the rest of the crew are quite lucky because they're in a different room, so they don't hear this. But you just hear in this child's voice your name, just sort of like playfully, almost singing your name, Loris, Loris, and it's just getting louder and louder. And you wake up and you're rubbing your eyes, and sitting on your chest is a small pouch with 100 gold pieces in it. You open it up. There's like 100 gold pieces just sitting there, and you look around for where that voice is coming from, and you go to your bag and look for this teddy bear, and the bear is nowhere to be seen. The teddy bear is gone. You look throughout the entire room and you cannot find it, and you spend the rest of the night looking for it or on edge, and so you only get a short rest. This is you feel a
Not
little,
that it matters.
yeah, and which is fine. It's come at a good time, I guess. But you do not feel as rested as the others, although you're already at max HP, so it was all good.
I'm just adjusting them to be slightly grumpy because I'm tired.
Yeah, but you're still a little bit on edge. You're a little bit on edge of where this thing could be. But
I just had pictures of Chucky in my mind.
Yeah, you didn't get stabbed or anything, thankfully.
No, thankfully, but it's just that kind of freaky voice, and there's gold on my chest. What the hell?
And I think now is a good time to take a quick break, since we're about to head off to Wave Echo Cave by the sounds of things.
Let's do it.
Yeah, now people were saying that the stream was chugging.
Apparently, yeah.
When I had the animated maps on, which really sucks. It even caused one of our viewers to disappear because it was going so slowly for them. But I don't understand why. It shouldn't have, because it's just it's a cached video that it plays on my end. It's just it's really strange. But what that has meant is I'm probably going to not do something else I had planned. Because it involves an animated map, and that was just gonna slow everything down for people. So it's a real shame.
But it hasn't done that in the past, has it?
I don't think it did it previously, no. So I'm not really sure about why that happened. I might have a bit of a... The only thing that's different is the file name was a different file format, and I'm wondering if that messed things up, but that shouldn't have done it. Let's have a look. It's an M4V, not an MP4, but that shouldn't have done it. I'll change it over and see if I can...
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I know. And actually, no, that doesn't make sense because it was doing it on one of the other ones that we'd previously done just fine. Oh.
Who's playing that?
I don't know. Oh, that's maybe...
That's my song.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we want to give that a try or not. I kind of wanted to. I think we're going to have to.
Try and see what happens.
I think we're going to have to. If it does slow things down for the stream, that's a real shame. And I don't know what to do about that because it's not going to be something I can just stop. if we get
Theatre
if we get it going. We could do Theatre of the Mind, but I can't really say anything. I can't say anything because spoilers, right?
Oh,
I don't want to get too detailed. So how did we find the venturing back towards Phandelver? Everyone,
unexpected.
yeah,
that Tabaxi thing was a bit weird.
that was fun. That was a fun character.
Besides the fact that he's a bit elusive anyway, but then obviously the possessed voice popping out was really weird.
Yeah, that character was helped. That creation of pretty much all of that character was thanks to Random Origins. I've been working with him to bring this character into this world. I think we did a pretty good job.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was really happy.
Thanks, Random.
It's a completely homebrew character that we've managed to fit into this story, which is cool. Yeah, he's actually got quite a cool backstory, but I'm not telling anything because it might come up again in the future. Who knows?
We're going to meet a possessed Tabaxi again.
Yeah.
Or cursed.
It was awesome. Also awesome that our new shirt design showed up with Random Origins as well. So he's got his dice from the giveaway. Now he said, because he'd already ordered the shirts, I was like, well, we can reimburse you for the shirts since he did win a shirt. And he's been kind enough to say that we just do another giveaway to another subscriber. So I'm happy to do that.
Oh, Random, that's too awesome.
So I don't know. I don't know if we want to do that now. We haven't really given many people much of a chance to be here to get that. And I know a couple of people aren't here, so I don't know. We could do that right now. I could just
Do it next week.
do it next week. We'll do it.
Give them a warning this week.
All right, we'll do a warning. We'll say they've got one more
A
week.
warning.
You get a
Giveaway
warning.
imminent.
One warning.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll do that. We'll do that next week. And I still have yet to get. I totally did the giveaway wrong. I shouldn't have just given it to just one of our followers or subscribers. I should have given it to a follower or subscriber that was watching. That was where I went wrong. Rookie mistake for giveaways.
That would have narrowed it down.
First time giveaway.
Because I think I'm probably not going to be able to get in touch with the Crow Show and I don't even know when the last time they watched us was, so we might as well give it away to active users. So if I can't get in touch with him in the next couple of days, we'll just have 2 shirt giveaways next week to people who are watching, people who care, people who want one of the shirts. Yes.
There we go.
Which is yeah. And like I said, so Random Origins has received a shirt and it looks awesome. Ours have shipped as well, so I can't wait for those to show up.
So can't wait.
Yeah, super detailed. They look fantastic, Joe. They look absolutely fantastic. If you guys like what we're doing, give us a follow or a subscribe, because we love doing this. We love playing, and I love putting all this together to make sure that it's watchable and enjoyable. We've got another one of our episodes of the podcast will be out in 3 hours. They're about like 10 episodes behind, I think, 10 weeks behind or 9, something like that. So if this is your first time seeing us and you want to sort of catch up, you can do so either through the podcast format. You can go to the YouTube channel, which is linked below. And once you've done that, once you've absorbed everything and you're all caught up, come and talk to us in our Discord about what's been happening in the campaign, as well as where we might be going in the future, or about what you're doing in D&D. Because the one thing we like just as much as talking about our campaign is what you guys are doing in yours. Or whether you just like painting miniatures, we want to see that. We want to absorb it, because when we're not playing it, I don't know about everyone, but when I'm not playing D&D, I'm at least thinking about it. So yeah, come and make our days a little more interactive with our community. It's awesome. It's great. What else? Buy our merch if you want to. If you like what we're doing, there's a couple of really cool shirt designs just underneath the stream. Are both designed by our very own American. They are fantastic. They are super, super good. Yeah.
Sig has a question for the DM.
Shoot.
Have we now entered Act 4?
Oh, so impatient. I was literally going to come back from this break to start Act.
Sig is all about 4. You know this.
If you're in our...
Wait, what's the 4 symbol? The power of 4.
Sig will be happy to stay 4 when everyone else levels up to 5.
What? you know that's not true. There's going to be some cool shit at level 5, right? There's got to be.
When everyone else is level 5, he'll be 4.4, which is the same power level as 5, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
That works for me. So someone's saying, so Fairy Blue Elf is saying as well that it's on a really good connection, but every time we use the animated maps, it does turn into a slideshow, which is a real bummer.
gross.
That really sucks.
So the voices are still coming through, but the visual isn't, is that?
Well, please answer that for us if you heard that question, because that would be good to know. I'm just trying to see the file. I don't know. It worked so smoothly last time. I wonder. I think we're just gonna have to miss what I was gonna plan.
Totally do it anyway, man. It might have just been a network random thing.
I mean, if the voices are fine, maybe then a slideshow is not so bad, because at least you can still hear what we're doing. You're still getting the idea. I kind of wanted to. Yeah, I reckon we'll go. I won't miss it out. I think it's a good thing to set the scene. I really do. I think it's a good moment to set the scene for what's coming.
So voices confirmed fine. Is this correct?
Yes, voices are confirmed fine.
Okay,
Which is great. Are we ready to venture away from Phandelver, everybody? So,
No, I'm scared.
Yeah, and I just realized I need to make sure that since you guys have Sildar along for the ride, along for the journey, that I need to make him available for me to control easily. How do I do that? Token editor.
Hey, American.
Shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look how big this hood is.
I love it.
It's Gandalf's one.
Jealous.
Oh, really?
You've out-hooded me.
What?
How dare you?
It's Gandalf's actual.
What's
Nobody
similar to
outhoods
Gandalf's
me.
one?
But does it have a tassel? Because
No,
need I
it doesn't have a
remind
tassel.
you?
All right.
It has this,
That's pretty good.
but no
That's
tassel.
pretty good. That's pretty good. I've been
don't-
meaning to put a
not as
fastening
good as
on
you
this cloak for like 2 months, and I'm just like, I'll get around to it.
It does have a clasp.
Oh, sweet! I need a clasp.
Yeah, it's not mine.
I'm just gonna quickly prepare some bitsies because I'd prepared it for nighttime, so now I need to prepare it for daytime. So you guys just keep talking. You guys just keep talking. amongst
Sig wonders if we can do an impromptu dance.
yourselves. You loved that last time, huh? Dave's having none of it. He just
Such a killjoy, Dave. Come on now. I gotta stay in.
I'm not a performing monkey.
that is
Oh, but
literally
you
what
are.
we're doing right now. We are performing to people. What would be interesting, because I've got the map open on my DM screen. I wonder if it's all slowed down to a slideshow for people who are watching. You just let me know, because that would be interesting.
We could just try it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to anyway.
I'm so
They
trying
did
to
get a
figure
free
out.
dance out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just.
I'm trying to
setting
figure
things
out
up.
which spells I should be using.
Oh yeah,
Hate
because
having
you've
to
had your.
prepare spells every long rest, and I've already put one spell slot on my precious spider children, but that's okay.
All right. Well, so that's how you're spending the morning, is that right?
No.
You don't know. You should probably know how you're going to spend the morning.
Sure. Before everyone gets up, I'm just going to have a little chat about poison and such.
Furu Blue Elf just wants us to not dance, I think.
Furry Blue Elf, like, I particularly didn't sing just for you earlier.
You're a hater of all performance arts. Is this how it is?
Yeah, I
It's
think
almost
so.
like
Oh,
he's
joy
just like,
allowed.
just don't even want to watch.
He's like, I will unsubscribe if I sense joy in any way, shape, or form.
I'm not sure he's even bothered to subscribe.
Judging.
He just turns up.
We're all judging. We're all judging. He didn't want a shirt. He didn't want to. Fair enough.
You didn't want to dance, even though it
Just
was a
getting
really
old.
cool dance.
Okay, cool. So what we'll do, we'll get you guys back into it. We're not going to place you within Phandelver, because why? You're just leaving anyway. So, American, you spend the morning casting a spell and talking to your spider. So what are you talking to them about? What's going on there? Oh, by the way, let's just say you've woken up. Something's different with your spiders this morning. In fact, you can while there are two molted skins of your spiders, there seems to only be one spider in the room now.
Uh-oh.
And this spider is much bigger than it was the night before. This thing, it used to be kind of, like we said, like, decent tarantula size. This thing is almost the size of a small chihuahua now. All right, this thing has leveled the hell up in gaming terms. So I believe your spider had had 3 hit points before. It now sits at 10. It is really picked up. But like I said, unfortunately, there is only one left in this room.
Good thing I'm able to talk to it.
Well, find out.
She's like, Rancine, where is your brother? Boles.
And Rancine just goes, tasty, tasty, tasty.
No! My child, you do not eat brothers.
Well, this one absolutely ate brothers.
I'm shocked.
But you've got one beast of a spider now. This is not
Just
something.
don't know how to feel about this.
This is not going to be something that you can just hide in your hair.
Right from town, American.
Riding on a chihuahua.
Now, as a DM, I know I didn't discuss this with you earlier. I know that you may have been attached to having 2 spiders.
You have turned my children into cannibals.
Yeah.
You had 2 shoulders. No,
Well, you wouldn't be able to fit 2 of these things on your shoulders, that's for sure.
needs a leash.
Yeah.
You need to borrow Sildar's shoulder pads.
Yeah.
I'm very taken aback.
Yeah, fair enough. So now that you've got Speak with Animals going, what are you wanting to talk to your spider about?
I'm going to say, naughty! You do not eat your brothers.
That's how you've been done.
And it's just like, tasty, tasty.
Well, what can you do, kids? He's still adorable.
Doesn't have any other brothers to eat, at least.
Yeah.
What's that?
At least he doesn't have any other brothers to eat.
Well, we seem to have a brother problem in this storyline, don't we? Dead or not dead. Well, I'm going to ask if he will be able to lend me his venom.
Yeah, and as soon as you say this, you can see its fangs start dripping with venom. It instantly understands what you're saying.
Very good. You won't eat Mummy now, will you?
Mummy.
So precious.
You ain't yummy.
I'm gonna put the venom on my scimitars and give him a little pet.
Okay, what we'll
And
say,
just whisper, I forgive you. I liked you better anyway.
and it almost you think it's at a size now that you think maybe you heard it purring a little bit as well. Like it's rubbing its little mouthy parts together and making a bit of a purr sound. The poison that you've put on your scimitars will give you poison damage on your first attack with them. Okay? Once you've attacked once, any subsequent hits will not be poisonous until you get it to re-poison them for you.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah. I'm just gonna march out of my room holding dear Unseen in my arms like a little cat and just petting it to show proudly to everyone.
Yeah, you walk down the stairs into the inn, and like people are really uncertain about what you're holding, but they see the joy in your face, and they are really kind of torn. They're like they're keeping their distance. And Harbin, you can hear Harbin from the other side of the counter go, "Good to see you." Oh my God! And he just and he freaks out, and he just pops underneath the back of the counter, and he's like, "America, what is this?"
Relax, Harbin. It's just a cute little spider. Give him a pat.
And you can just hear coming from behind it. I think he's going to be hiding for a little bit. So what we will say is that as you all step out of the Stonehill Inn, Sildar meets you outside, and thus begins the start of Act 4. Wave Echo Cave. Wave 4.
Baron's just eating popcorn.
Cool. So the map that you're holding onto shows that the path is south out of Phandelver. You haven't really ventured too far south, and it doesn't even look like there's much of a path leading south. It's kind of overgrown. But you follow your bearings, and American, you can make out through the grass random stones every now and then, almost like there once was a path here. What we can say, depending on how fast, if there's anything you guys want to do on your travel, it's early morning here. You're all ready for the Wave Echo Cave. All right, so let's bring up that map again. Just so I can see how far along you guys go, because we have drawn on there. So the path that you take sort of winds through a few hills, and the hills turn into mountains. And while there is still some grass and greenery, you can see off in the distance a mountain, a larger mountain, that seems to be barren of most. It's mainly rock. It's barren of most greenery. But what you hear off in the distance brings. Oh, come on! Don't do this. All right, brings all of you to a standstill. What you hear off in the distance. The clattering of bones.
Right.
All right, so we'll I've literally been waiting to do that since like episode 6, where I was like, damn it, those skeletons ruled. I need to have something cool for them. And then I was like, so let's move you guys onto a map. What format are you guys all traveling in? Like, who's out in the front with the map leading the way?
Sick. No. Everyone's pointing at each other.
Okay, just so you know, how you are on your screens may not be how you are for everyone else.
Oh, wait, hang on, hold on. Where is Baron? No, Baron's way down there.
Baron's at the bottom left.
Way down there, yeah. Bottom left. Way down there.
All right, so what?
Sig will be at the front.
Okay, so I'm just gonna. All right, I'm gonna put you.
Bill is firmly in the middle of the party.
All right, I think Sildar is gonna be next to Sig. He's at the front.
Like a good old boy.
Like a good old boy. Baron, whereabouts are you?
In the middle.
In the middle with Gil and American? With your
Well, I
spider?
don't suppose that leaves the back.
Oh, it doesn't have to. You could be.
Can't all be in the middle, can we?
We could huddle, you know.
We do have a bag of holding. We could all be in the middle.
I was going to say middle, and I'm like, back.
All right.
I'm in the middle of the back, actually. How about that? It's Loris.
Oh,
That's normal.
Oh, wow.
What
Yeah.
you see in front of you, Sig, you're the first to spot it. You've all heard it, but you're the first to spot it, is what looks like a small army of skeleton warriors marching down this path. It doesn't look like they've noticed you yet. It looks like the sound of their bones clanking against each other and their armor is what alerts you to them. But they have not been yet alerted to you.
As Sig sees the skeletons approach, he grabs his shield, and then he goes to pull his sword out of his sheath of ire and wonders if he needs to roll anything.
You do need to roll the D3.
Sig rolls a 1.
All right. Can I get a D6 from you as well?
Sig rolls a 2.
All right. As you pull the sword from the sheath, you feel it clamp onto the sword. And as you pull it out, these sparks just like spray out as you withdraw the sword. The sparks sort of flick onto your skin and just do a little 2 bits of burning damage on your back. But the sword you look at is sharper than it has ever looked before. You may find that an attack with that sword will be a little better than maybe at first. What are the rest of you guys doing? So, Sig, have you halted everyone?
Indeed. How far away are they? Are they like in yelling distance or?
Have you guys got the map there? So they're about 35 feet in front of you.
Okay. So Sig raises a fist and then turns to his party. We have a battle ahead of us.
Are they coming our way?
Indeed.
Adhering, we have a Sig's description of what's going on. I'm just going to walk straight through the middle of it and plant myself being smack in the front and be ready to take on.
Should we ambush them then if they're going to?
Have we got any ranged attacks? They'll be on us in moments.
Yes, Sig,
Okay.
you have noticed that they are moving forward. Just a little.
Ready yourself, everyone.
I'm
I
gonna-
see some trees by the side of the road. Could I make my way up into a tree?
But yeah, if that's what you want to do. Bill, you got your hand up?
I'm just going to ask if are they moving towards us or south or
No, they seem to be moving towards you.
okay.
I'm going to get behind this rock.
Classic Barrett.
All right.
Of course you are.
Are you trying to hide?
No, just get a bit of cover.
So
No one else is hiding.
Okay. All right. American, what are you up to? Are you trying to hide? What are you guys?
Have I been able to scuttle up onto a sturdy branch of this tree?
Give us an athletics check.
Okay. What's everyone else doing while I roll
Yeah.
that?
Watching.
So Loris, you're just standing.
Just watching.
Loris,
Rude.
you're just standing in the middle of the road.
I was ready to go, waiting for Sig to yell for charge.
I've rolled a 16.
Yeah. So you get up. You can pick a tree and climb it as high as you'd like to climb it.
Nice.
Okay. Bill, what are you up to?
I'm just going to follow the lead of Sig and Loris.
All right. So we've got Silda looks to you all, and takes a step to be side by side with Loris. And he says, "Wow, we're really just getting into this, huh? Let's get these Scully boys, I guess." Cool. So what I might do?
A lot of,
Oh, sorry, Baron.
I'm just saying there's a lot of skeletons and you guys are really brave.
Yeah, you guys are a lot. Yeah, you guys are taking this really. I don't know, ready to go. All right.
Well, I
shoot
don't
them?
think they're friendly skeletons.
we won't know.
Exactly.
What if it's just a troop of friends?
Oh, yeah.
Might be that.
Baron, would you like to go and have a chat to them? They seem to be like of your kind.
Tried that
Well,
last time. Mate.
All right, and they're just slowly making their way closer.
I want to shoot one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to shoot this one, if possible. Oh, it didn't. This one here with ice knife.
Cool. So what I'll get from everybody is roll of
Here it
initiative. Select your tokens.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was that Silda?
Silda,
select your tokens.
Oh, I rolled an 8.
Sig rolled a 7.
I rolled 18.
All right, Bill, you're leading us in.
I got an 11.
I'm just getting rid of some
I
of
rolled a
those.
nearly crashed browser, but it's hanging in there.
I'm just going to remove Duran off there. And we'll get
Whoops.
Silda added in there too.
I rolled a 12.16.
A 12.16. It says 9.16 here. Oh, you rolled
Well,
twice.
Because the browser was acting up, I ended up clicking it twice because it didn't do
Alright,
anything.
I'll give you.
And then it did too.
I'll give you your 12.
And rightly so.
All right. Okay, so Bill, we're at the top of the order with you.
Oh, are they surprised or are they?
Nothing's happened yet. I'd say they've probably seen you now. The ones at the front have probably seen you guys, especially since there's 4 guys now blocking the road in front of them. So I'm not. You wouldn't be able to get a jump on these guys.
Okay. Yeah, I think given they're Skelly boys, and like it feels like combat's pretty inevitable. I'm just gonna call out to this one, the top left, and I'm just gonna say, drawing my rapier, let's say, let's bring some life into this party, and just like call them out.
Cool. That's a wisdom check.
Yes, please.
He's rolled a 20. A net 20.
Ooh.
Are you sure it's not a 14?
And he just shakes his bones. He just shakes his bones at you in response. Anything else? You do want to move at all? What do you
No, that does nothing. It does bumfuck all.
No.
I'm just trying to think. Oh no, that's cool. Okay, cool. American, you're up in the tree. You just heard the Bill call out.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I have my short bow at the ready. And I draw it back. And I strike at the close. No, actually, why not go for the guy in the back?
You're
I'm
gonna
going to go
take
for the guy in the back.
All right, cool.
Going to try to. And I'm going to... What have I rolled? I've rolled a 24.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have a height advantage, though, actually?
I mean, yeah, you could roll with advantage. I'll give you that since you've got height advantage.
Although I'm hoping a 24 hits. Otherwise, we're doomed. Yeah,
All
let's
right.
go with the 24.
All right.
13's not so great.
Cool.
So 7 piercing damage.
Yeah, great. So that hits the skeleton in the back. Normally, if you were on ground level, he probably would have been in a bit of cover, but because you're up in the tree, you can see over, and you've just knocked the helmet off the top of this skeleton at the back. Cool. Doing how much damage? 9 damage. Was it 9 damage?
Doing
No, 7 damage.
7 piercing damage.
7 piercing damage. Okay, so you've knocked it off and taken a small chunk of his skull. Just knocked it off the top of his head as well. Anything else? Is there anything you'd like your spider to do? We'll utilize your spider as from now on as well. Anytime it's your turn, you have American's turn, and you also have the spider's turn.
My question is, do I know my spider's AC?
Yep, it's the same as it ever was. It currently has armor class of 12. But 10 HP.
I'm just gonna hold it close and stop it from running off for now.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Just going to whisper, "Not yet, my love. Not yet."
Okay, great. Baron.
I'm going to cup my hands around my mouth and yell out, "People like you give undead a bad name." I'm going to shoot ice knife at this one.
Oh, yeah.
And so it should affect all the ones around it.
So which one? The one second from the front, is it? Yeah,
This
cool.
one right here.
All right, roll to hit.
And I got ice. Right, here we go. Oh, a 9.
And a 9 is a miss, but that ice knife explodes, correct?
Yes. And everyone has to do a 14 dex saving throw or take 6 cold damage.
All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, I guess, that needs to take that. The one that it hits and the 5 around them. Okay, the top left did not save. The one beneath him, what did he have to roll?
14 dex.
All right, the other one at the front did save. The one that you aimed for did not save. The one next to him did not save. The one behind him did not save. And the one next to that one crit failed. So only one of them saved. And how,
All right.
so how much damage do each of them take?
6 each. 6 cold.
All right, cool. So that just shoots out. It doesn't. It kind of just bounces off the armor of the skeleton you aimed it at, and it shoots up and just shatters, showering the majority of those ones in cold little daggers or splinters. The one that crit failed, I'm gonna say, takes 1.5 damage. So another 3 damage off that one.
Cool.
Cool. It is the skeletons' turns. And they kind of break off. The first, the ones at the front, just charge in. 2 by 2. I'm just going to line these all up. And the ones at the back all pull out their short bows and just launch them over the top of the skeletons in front of them, down into the 4 standing on the road. So we're going to get 2 attacks of the short bow for each person standing there. So it's like 2 skeletons have attacked each person in the front row there. So we'll start with 2 attacks on Sildar. What's Sildar's? Okay, so the first one misses. The second one hits, doing 6 damage to Sildar. Now we've got 2 attacks on Loris with these arrows. First one is a roll of 16.
Hits.
That's 7 piercing damage.
Whoa!
And the other one crit fails and shoots an arrow directly into one of the skeletons at the back, doing 7 damage. Then we've got 2 attacks on... Oh, Bill?
When they get to me, I've got a reaction.
Yeah, cool. We've got 2 attacks coming down onto Sig. A roll of an 18 is a miss, and a roll of a 14 is a miss. He just has his shield up already ready, and these 2 arrows just go dunk, dunk, into his shield. And then we've got 2 attacks on Bill. So the first is a 17.
I'm just going to call out to that one as he's like mid-draw and say, "What, you didn't find that humorous?"
And he has to roll for that?
No. So his is reduced by 1d6.
What, the attack roll?
His attack roll.
Right.
What did he hit?
He had 17, so it's dropped down to 15.
Yeah, it's still a hit.
Oh, bummer. Okay. And the second... so that was for 4 piercing damage. And then the last one comes down with a roll of 11, which is a miss. So the other one just kind of like shoots down next to you. The 2 skeletons at the front here have their short swords drawn, and one of them slashes out at Sildar, the other at Loris. So the first one on Sildar slashes out and misses, just cuts the air in front of Sildar as he takes a step back. And the other one swipes out at Loris, rolling an 8, which is a miss as well. So having seen these arrows coming in, they're a little more aware for the ones in front, and they just both step back in time to see these skeletons cut air. And the rest of the skeletons just shaking their swords in anger. Loris, we're back. We're with you.
Okay. That was a bit annoying. Fucking arrow's been shot at me. Fucking hell, rude. So, do I? I can't believe it. I know I should, but I really can't bother. But I will. So, I think at the point of time the arrow hits me, I just let out an almighty howl, and I'm not going to do it because my throat's been killing me for like 3 weeks.
All right.
Still, you can hear it. You can hear it. It's croaking, and it's really bugging me. There it is. So almighty howl comes out and just recklessly, because I'm already pissed off, I'm already tired, I'm just going to launch. Was it that one there? Was it the one that's directly in front of me that swung and missed at me?
Yes, yeah.
So I'm going to do my reckless attack whilst raging on this dude here, and I'm just going to remember what the reckless attack does, because I haven't used it that often. Basically, my first attack, I gain advantage on attacking him, so I can roll with advantage on him.
Okay.
So I will do that with my Ragey Great Axe attack, which is coming at him now. Excuse me. So I roll a 23, doing 11 slashing damage.
Yeah, cool. That is more than enough. 11 slashing damage. Damn, that's really good. So you just slice across his chest, just snapping off like a huge chunk of like ribs. Maybe about 6 of the ribs just get shattered, and he's losing his balance. He doesn't look like much is holding him together at the moment.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just for yourself to remember when you attack, you get
I get advantage on you, right?
Advantage against. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. Is that anyone? So anyone that attacks you gets advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So by recklessly attacking,
Yeah.
I'm at disadvantage.
Yeah, you've opened yourself up. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anything else, Loris?
No, I'm good.
Cool. Sig, back to you. You've just seen the swarm of skeletons run up and one take a big cut out of it from Loris, and you've had a couple of arrows just shoot into your shield. What's up?
So as Sig sees the undead hordes advance towards him, he raises his shield, blocking some arrows, and out of the corner of his eye, he sees one arrow impact into Sildar. And as the undead bash into the front line, he yells out, "For the living!" And he hopes that Mr. Sildar feels like he's got rallied. So I get to roll my sweet 1d8 minus 1.
Nice.
So he gains an additional 4 temporary hit points until the end of a long rest.
Nice. That's pretty good.
And then Sig will lunge forward into the closest skelly boy, slashing his short sword of ire.
Yeah, cool.
Do I just roll?
Just roll normally for now.
Yeah. Sig gets a 21 with advantage.
Was your
For
why are you at advantage?
don't I get advantage because of Loris's thing?
Oh, is that? I'm not sure. Is that right, Dave?
Melee attack while I'm raging.
Oh yeah, cool.
He gets advantage on the attack.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so a roll of a 21 is enough. Now you would be, thanks to the sheath of ire, your blade does an extra 2 damage on that swipe. You cut down through that skeleton and it just crumbles into dust at your feet. You look at the blade and it looks like it was before entering the sheath. It looks like it's lost that extra bit of sharpness that it once had. Anything else there, Sig?
Sig would like to drop kick the skeleton's head into the ranks behind it just as it dies.
Okay. You totally do that. The head just gets kicked and stomped underfoot by the other skeletons. it is Sildar's turn. What's Sildar got up his sleeve? He just looks back at Sig and says, "For the living!" and charges out with his sword that you have returned to him, and he slashes out twice across the skeleton in front of him. The first one seems to catch air, but the other one hits true and slashes across the skeleton. The skeleton in front of him is wobbly on its feet at best. It does not look good. If skeletons could be bloodied, that skeleton would be bloodied.
I think we established that it was marrowed.
Oh, that's right. They're
last time.
marrowed.
He's been marrowed.
Yeah. That's right. So that skeleton next to Sildar is looking very marrowed. Bill, we're back with you.
So in front of me, I have like a marrowed skelly boy up here, and then this one.
Yeah, he's untouched at the moment. That one.
He's what? Sorry.
That one had been damaged. He's just looking a bit scarred from the ice dagger that exploded over him.
Right. Okay. And what are the rules on your rage, Loris?
So any melee attack, any melee attack against anyone within 5 feet of me is with advantage.
So at the
within 5 feet of you.
Yeah. So there's only one skeleton
so within 5 feet of me.
2, right?
Be that one there.
It's got to be in a square adjacent to, basically, like if you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll obviously move into that space, but.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's the one in front of Sildar and Loris, the one that's kind of near both of them is the one that you'd have advantage on.
Okay, that's cool. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to move up to here, and I'm going to try to drive my rapier through whatever purchase I can find, be it rotting flesh or bone or whatever, and try to duck behind the skeleton. Seeing the volley of arrows from before, I'm just going to try to gain what cover I can from this skeletal body.
So you're gonna stab him and then move in behind him. So you're kind of within.
So I'm gonna get down on one knee.
Yeah.
And stab up into his what would be guts.
Okay.
And with the rest of his body kind of draped over me. So I guess if he lives, it's probably quite risky. If he doesn't, then
you're going to try and
maybe I'll get some sort of protection.
Sure, you want to try and catch his falling
in his
body.
rib cage.
Yeah,
in his rib cage, wear him like an exoskeleton.
Right. Okay. I mean, if you want to attempt to wear the bones of a reanimated skeleton, sure. We can give
that
that
sounds
a try.
like a dangerous proposition.
Classic. Just like a very standard thing to do.
Yeah. So roll a hit.
I'm outside of the advantage range, but I did hit 20.
Oh yeah, 20 is definitely a hit. And you do.
And he takes 4 piercing.
All right, you do 4 piercing damage. And you managed to just knock a rib and then push through air. So you've done a little bit of damage to maybe a little bit to his spine and one of his ribs, but he's still standing. And he rattles his bones at you. So he's still standing, and you are now in a crouched position in front of him. You can still use movement to stand up if you wanted.
No, I'm just going to call back with my bonus action and just say, I'll rib you from limb to limb.
Is that a wasted that's a good one that you missed out now, because that's not actually a move, right?
Nah.
Damn. All right, American, you're still up on the trees with your spider baby.
Yes. She takes a handful of oak bark out of one of her pouches, and she smooths it over sweet Runzin's body as she chants, "Let the protection of the oak be with you, my child." And she has cast Barkskin on Runzin,
Nice.
the sweet little baby spider. And she whispers, "Now go." And she urges it to attack. So I'm going to direct it to climb down towards this frontline skeleton here and lash out with a bite.
So the one standing in front of Silda?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Give us a roll.
I will. Rears up on its hind legs. A menacing figure indeed, I hope. And rolls a 17.
Let's have a look. That 17 is a hit. And
However, I'm guessing a skeleton can't be poisoned.
correct. That is. So you could try, but I don't think it would do much. So, but with 2 piercing damage, it manages to bite because of the size of it. It bites onto the femur and just kind of pulls it away like a dog with a bone. And it just drops the skeleton dead onto the ground.
Got your leg.
Because physics, I guess. Physics happen. Cool. So that's another skeleton.
I'd like to urge it to retreat back up into the tree to the safety of the branches.
How much movement do we give that little guy? Oh, that's plenty. Yeah,
I believe spiders have 40 feet of
yeah,
movement and are not hindered by climbing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Totally happy with that. Cool. Baron, back to you.
Okay. I'm going to do the same thing as last time, but I'm going to attack this guy with Ice Knife.
Which one was? Oh, yeah, that one. Okay, cool.
Second from the back.
Yeah, sure. Roll to hit.
19.
Oh, yeah, that's totally a hit. Doing 3 piercing damage. And now we're needing to do another 6 rolls to avoid this thing.
Yes. Sorry about that.
And it's a roll of 14, is it?
Yeah, 14 dex.
Okay, that one failed. That one failed as well. That one failed. That one failed. That one totally failed. And that one failed. So that thing just knocks into the skeleton you were aiming at. It hits, does a huge amount of damage. And while it's still stuck in the chest, it explodes, killing the one that it hit completely, just destroying that one. And doing 9 damage to the ones around it. The one directly in front of it takes a blast to the back of the head and it just shatters the skull completely. The one next to him, the bones within its ribcage just gets blown out and drops to the ground. The one standing next to the one you originally hit is just disintegrated right off his feet. Bill, does it need to interrupt what I'm saying now, or?
I was just gonna say, like, he's draped over Bill, right?
Oh, that thing just shattered. This thing, it did so much damage compared to how much health it had left. It just, like, the bones just got blown. There's no part that's really joining onto any other part.
Oh,
right
shit.
now.
Okay. Do I need to save or anything?
No, you're far enough away to not have been hit by it. The one behind the one with that ice knife also just gets shattered, just blown to pieces.
Damn.
And the one standing at the back of this group manages to take a decent brunt of it, but is still standing and just looks kind of around at what's going on. And that's ice knife number 2. Dang.
Yeah, I was going to yell out, use some manners next time. The worst kind of undead.
Yeah. It's the skeleton's turn. And the one remaining one in the front of the group just charges forward at Bill with his blade out. And just swipes out with its short sword. It rolls 14.
Please. Let me just double check that.
Oh, it must be close.
Yeah, it's exactly enough.
It's enough. It does. He brings his short sword down, scratching across the crouching frame of Bill, doing 7 piercing damage, or slashing damage in this case.
That's too much.
And the 8 at the back let loose another volley of arrows at the 4 standing in the row. So we go 2 on Sildar. That is a hit and a miss. So 3 damage to Sildar. He's just taking out some of his temporary hit points, which is great. Thanks to Sig. The next 2 are aimed directly in Loris's direction. 1, he rolls a 17 and a 7. So I'm guessing that's 17 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Any attack on you is at advantage, isn't it?
Let me check
Until
on that.
your next turn.
Melee attack.
Oh, melee
yeah,
attack.
Is it melee attack? Let me read.
Let's have a look.
It does say melee attacks
Yeah,
using
cool.
strength.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so one hit, 1 didn't. Doing 4 damage.
Okay.
Another 2 arrows coming down at Sig. And that's 2 misses again, just dunk into the shield in Sig's hands. And 2 more coming down on top of Bill. 1 misses, and the other is a crit success. Doing 7 damage to Bill. This one just lands thunk, straight into Bill's thigh.
Ow!
And that's the skeleton's turn. Loris, we're back with you.
All right. Okay, so seeing this, the skeleton in front of Bill, is that how damaged does he look?
He took a decent chunk of that ice knife that you saw explode. Like, he's missing some ribs and scratches, and yeah, he's not looking too good.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to dash as far as I can. Well, not dash, sorry. I want to run as far as I can towards the archer skeleton. So I probably end up maybe about here.
Yeah, you'd end up at this point.
Yeah, about that square there. But what I want to do is kind of on my way there. I want to take a swinging slice at the at the skeleton that's there.
I like where this is
so
going.
It might be a little bit.
So
I literally just want to rent off and just.
My question to you is: if you miss, are you still running past?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. Let's.
My intention is to get there as to get towards the archers, but take out him as well.
Yeah, cool. So you take off, and actually the skeleton sees you coming at him, and he readies his sword. So can you roll to hit, please?
Can. I rolled a 19. Why am I rolling with advantage? Sorry, that wasn't with advantage. It was a 7 instead. I apologize.
That's a crit fail. Can you roll a D100 for me?
Hold on a second. Yes, I can.
Actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm just going to give the skeleton an advantage on the attack of opportunity that you've given as you run past him.
Cool.
And he's rolled a 21, slashing you with 7 damage as you run past him.
What a dick.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. So you can totally end up where you said you wanted to be.
Yeah, I'll still go because even though I probably felt that hit, I'm of fairly certain mind that I'm just charging to about here, I think is where I said.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
and probably when I get there I'll realize.
Yeah, you ran out, you swiped and missed, and it just cut you square across the stomach as you ran past.
Yeah. So as I get to where I am, I'm just gonna go, ah!
Nice.
What the fuck?
Cool. Sig, we're with you.
Sig strides forward next to the bleeding Mr. Bill and he sheaths his sword into the sheath of ire,
Can you roll
and
me
then
a...
pulls it out again.
All right.
And that's in full action, right?
I'll let that happen as a full action, yeah.
Sweet.
So
he goes, "Hoocha!" expecting there to be sparks and stuff on his blade.
give me a roll of a D3 twice, please.
Did that do it?
All right, it was a one.
Really enjoying this.
And your second one for... Okay, this is
A 1 and a 2.
This is pretty good. So that
Cha-cha!
it's the sheathing that causes the sparks this time, and they burn out. And I need you to roll a D6, please.
A D6 for the entering of the scabbard.
Of the entering of the scabbard, yeah, because you've pushed it in, and it's basically sharpening the blade as you push it in, and the sparks fly out up over the back of your neck and do 2 burning damage. You pull the sword out, and no sparks as it comes out, but you look at it, and it is beautifully sharp once again.
Sig starts to understand what is up.
Yeah. But that is your
Sig
action.
is ready for battle in the next round.
Cool. It's Sildar's turn, and he just runs for this skeleton in front of Gil, and he says, he just calls out, where's my mouth? Gil! I've got you, Gil, don't you worry! And he slashes out with his longsword a couple of times, missing, cutting.
What a good old boy.
Cutting, yeah, both times, just slashing out. And he's just like this skeleton, while it's wobbling on its feet, just seems to be almost just evading accidentally. To which Sildar just goes, shit! Bill, we're back with you. You've got an arrow in your knee. You've just taken an arrow to the knee.
Okay. Resisting the urge to reference the fact that I used to be an adventurer. I'm just going to slash out at the enemy in front of me.
Cool. Please roll.
When I say slash, I mean stab.
That sounds good.
Oh!
Man, this skeleton is not having any of what you're up to. Everything seems to be missing this thing right now, and it just lets out an evil cackle, which I cannot replicate right now.
Come on.
Use the soundboard.
Yes.
There
I'll
we go.
get you next time, He-Man.
Yeah. He-Man! It just sounds like Billy Goblin.
Yeah. That's right.
Which, by the way, we haven't seen Billy Goblin in a wee while. How far away we're still we're not too far. We're like 2/3 of the way to spawning Billy Goblin.
We don't need no bellies.
Okay. Okay. Anything else on your turn, Bill?
Yeah, I just want to call out to the Baron.
Hmm?
And I'm just going to say, don't challenge death to a pillow fight if you can't handle the repercussions.
Oh my God.
And that's my...
Right, how much psychic damage do I suffer?
It might feel like a vicious mockery, but it's actually a bardic inspiration.
Oh, okay.
I was like, damn, we're going into inter-party conflict here. Sweet. He's like,
Oh my god.
Bill's going to join the skeletons.
Repercussions.
Bardic inspiration.
Yeah,
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
get a D6.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry, it was not.
That was a good one. I like that one. American.
And does it last for 10 minutes? Is that right?
Yeah, 10
It'll
minutes.
run out.
It's a
So I have to use
1d6
All right.
that you can add to any roll, but you need to decide before you get told whether it's a success or a fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
American.
American.
You've seen just these skeletons just getting annihilated from these little icy knives being thrown out of behind a rock.
Classic Baron.
Classic Baron.
But she also hears the clash of swords and the spilling of blood and the cries of her comrades.
Correct.
And she whips around, short bow in hand, and cries out, "I'll save you! and she lets loose an arrow with advantage because of the doodad.
Wait, why advantage?
Height advantage.
Height advantage. Oh, yes, right. I'll give you that one. Who are you aiming for?
I do want to. I rolled a 23 and a 20.
Okay, but who are you?
However,
who are you aiming for?
I'm the guy that's attacking our boys.
Oh, the one at the front next to Sildar.
The scary skelly boy slashing out at my mate Bill.
Okay, cool.
I won't let this stand.
All right.
But I just want to say, I have rolled a 23 and a 20, but I get to re-roll a die, because of my elven accuracy. So I'm going to re-roll the 20 just in case I can get better.
You're just trying to get that that crit success, huh?
I just desperate for that sweet crit. I've become addicted to the crit. But I don't think I'll get one.
D20, and we'll add 5 to it.
I'll settle for a 23. I'm rolling.
Okay. Well, we'll take that.
10.
We'll take.
You know what? Let's stick with the 23.
Cool. You just shoot down into the top of the skeleton's skull, and it just explodes out mid cackle and click, and just gone. And it just drops down to the ground, dead. You've taken care of the group of melee fighters. Is there anything your spiders would like to do?
Spider. Don't even remind me right now.
There's another spider inside there.
Way to remind that your player killed off one of their pets overnight.
I know.
I'm scared to send him into battle. He's such a fragile wee thing, even with
He's
the
got a
bark
bark skin.
skin.
He's a
But
chihuahua.
there's like 8 guys lining up to take a shot at my sweet little Ranzan. I can't let that happen. I'm going to stay in the tree with them.
Okay.
Although, actually, can I see? Actually, my question is:
yeah.
Can I see from my vantage point, what those 8 skeleton soldiers are armed with? Are they with swords, short bows?
They're all holding short bows currently.
No sheathed weapons
Oh,
inside?
they've all got sheathed weapons. They've all got a short sword at their side.
However, does that mean they have to take... I'm saying however a lot. Does that mean they have to spend an action to change weapons?
Correct. If they want to change weapons, they will have to spend an action.
Okay. I'm gonna send him to his probable death. I don't know.
No,
I'm not doing it.
Yes.
He tries to run off, and I'm like, no, I can't lose another.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So is that? However, is that it?
However, I'm gonna stay in the tree.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Baron, how many ice knives you got there?
I got one more.
Are we gonna see the return of the ice knife?
You will. Return of... Okay, I'm gonna move down here.
You also got Bardic Inspiration.
Yes, and I'm definitely gonna use it.
Wait, where did you go? Oh, you're behind.
Depending on how much I'm behind this skeleton. How recently dead are these skeletons?
I mean,
do they look rotten or?
Oh right,
like...
no, they've got. Okay, well, you can spend your turn investigating them if you like.
No. I'm going to aim at this guy right here.
All right.
This one, the second, they're sort of jutting out there.
I really just want to add to your animation. Ice knife! Something like that.
All right, I'm rolling it. Ice knife! Okay, what do I get? Boo, a 9 on the attack roll. But then they'll have to... Oh my
you can choose whether or not.
No, I'm doing it. I'm going to add a d6. Good idea.
Oh, it's not gonna hit.
Oh. 4.
So what's that? What's that? A 13?
13.
Which is enough to.
Oh. So that does an extra 7 damage on that guy.
Damn yeah! So you just again that ice knife just soars through the air and just lands straight into the chest of this of the skelly boy. So now we're going to have to roll another 6. So we'll go with these front 2 to see if they survive. First one fails. Second one does not fail. The one that you originally hit does not fail. The fourth one does not fail. The fifth one definitely fails with a crit fail. And the sixth one succeeds with a crit success.
Okay, so only 2 there.
And so they take 9 damage. Except for the one at the back, which again I said takes 1.5 of that crit fail. So that
was a crit fail.
That one crit failed. So that sort of, I think it just explodes closer to him than any of the others, and it just shreds him, and he just drops to the ground dead in one.
It gets him in his coccyx.
Right in the coccyx. Ooh.
Nice. I like it.
Anything else, Baron?
Painful. His funny bone. No, that's all.
Okay, it is the skeletons' turns now. The front 4 all charge towards Loris. In doing so, they spend their action putting away their short bows and withdrawing their short swords. The 3 at the back, they're all. Where are they going to be aiming? Oh, I have a feeling they're aiming at Loris. I'm afraid. All 3 of them now seeing Loris run up. They each shoot an arrow out towards Loris. First one rolls a 10. The second one rolls a 15. The third one rolls a 15.
Ooh, bring it on.
So that's 11 damage total.
I will be using my stone's endurance.
There we go.
To reduce. I was waiting for that.
What's that, D12, is it?
For that. Yeah, so stone's endurance allows me to roll, reduce the damage dealt to me by a 1d12 plus 1.
I tell you what, this roll is normally for 1 attack, is that right? Because you got 2 attacks happening.
Yeah, so that's...
If you roll a 12, if you roll me a nat 12, you will negate all damage.
Okay. I'm good for that. So it's 1d12 plus 1, but I'll roll it now. Here,
9.
It's a 9.
Okay.
What was the first attack?
The first attack was for 6 damage, so you take no damage from that one, but you do take 5 from the one following up.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. That is the skeleton's turns. Loris, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a bit bleeding. There's some holes in me.
I just want to
Probably
say
a wound across my stomach.
I just want to say that it's 10 past 10. I think people probably have to get going. Is that right?
Yep.
Attack!
Okay. We'll go through to the end of this round. Loris,
all right.
You're up.
Yeah, so Loris is fairly bloody. He's still quite determined and quite angry, so he's not really focusing on his injuries, but there's kind of holes, I guess, from the arrows and stuff. There's an arrow stuck in his chest, I'd imagine. But yeah, we're still going. So I've got 4 around me, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so in a very quick summary, which one's looking the worst?
From a quick glance, the 2 on your right look unscathed. The ones on your left look a little battle worn.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna smash overhead at the one furthest to my left.
Okay, cool. Give us a roll.
And hopefully finish him off, because I really don't want to take 4 swordy slashy things. I rolled a 17, doing 12 slashing damage.
Yeah, you just again, your axe just comes down, it splits the skull, it shatters, and you crumble all of the rib cage away from the spine and just drop it down to the ground dead.
And I turn to the other 3, ready to take them all on.
Sig, over to you.
Nice. So Sig charges forward across the battlefield, and as he does so, he calls out to Mr. Loris. Hold fast, Mr. Loris. Your muscles are stronger than bone. And uses his rally ability with a sweet D8 -1 for a whopping 0 temporary HP.
Sig. Every time.
Inspirational nonetheless.
Every time.
Every time.
How do you get a -1 on that?
But Sig forgot to use his outside voice, so Mr. Loris didn't hear his fine words.
Loris, your skin's really strong.
How do you get a -1 on that? Like, is that to do with your intelligence or?
That's my negative charisma modifier.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So then, reaching the undead skeletons in front of him, he slashes down into the hand which is holding the weapon.
Okay.
With advantage.
Yeah, you get advantage on this
Sweet
one.
advantage.
Yeah.
A crit.
Oh,
crit.
man.
With 7 + 5 + ire damage.
Yeah, you just shatter the hand of the skeleton, and its sword just gets dropped to the ground. The shattering of the hand just sends like cracks all the way up the entire arm of the skeleton and across a chunk of its sternum. It's alive, well, undead, but barely undead. I don't know. He's marrowed. He's well marrowed, this one.
Does Sig get to roll another d6 for ire damage?
I mean, you can. Oh, actually, you're right. You get an extra 2 to your attack. So actually, that splintering of the bone just like ripples across its entirety and just shatters it. And it falls to the ground dead. But now you look at your blade, and it is back to its normal state. And it is Sildar's turn, who doesn't want to miss out on any of this fun. He too runs to Loris's side and swipes out with advantage, of course, which is fantastic. Twice at the one in front of him. Actually, how much movement was that? Let's actually take a look. We might be able to do a bit of fun with this one. Okay, he's gonna attack with advantage to that first one. He rolls 21 and slashes that skeleton across its face and just shatters the skull, and it drops dead to the ground. He uses his remaining movement to sidle up next to this other skeleton and swipes out with advantage, and he rolls a 20. Unfortunately, not a crit. Unfortunately, it's not a nat 20. Only doing a little damage, only doing 2 damage to the skeleton. And I think that is where we'll leave it. I think that's where we'll leave it. You guys have just got a few more skeletons remaining. A few more remains.
Must say, Sildar's going up in my smashes very, very fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's all well healed now.
I'm liking this version of Sildar.
I mean, you got to think
Got some healthy cigarettes.
The only way you've ever really known Sildar is in a damaged state, realistically.
I think Loris has judged him based on his weakness. He's now starting to rethink his beliefs.
Yeah. So that was awesome. We went a little bit longer just thanks to being caught up, I think, with that encounter. Woo! That was cool.
That was awesome.
That was really cool.
I like smashing skeletons.
I am curious if that was a bit of a slideshow for the viewers since we were on that animated map. So let us know. It's been a little quiet in the chat tonight, which is a little abnormal. But that's okay. Everyone has those kind of days,
Sleepy.
don't they? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sleepy.
Me too.
It was a fine session.
Yeah, I really liked that session. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Random Origin says it wasn't slideshow like it just worked. So I don't know. I don't know what was causing that before, but I'm glad it
Random.
I'm glad it worked that time. Cool. We'll round off with that normal roundup. Is if you like what we're seeing and you really kind of either new to D&D or you love D&D, give us a follow and come chat to us on our Discord. Give us a sub if you really like what we're doing, and that'll put you in the draw to win a shirt next week because we're going to give away 2 shirts next week. And if you just like what you see and you curious to see how we got to this point in the campaign, you can catch up through the podcast or on YouTube using the link underneath the stream. But we normally sit here and talk for a couple of minutes.
I just hear someone roll.
Someone rolled. Stilton, we're
Baron
rolling for
Byron
cheese.
rolled for Stilton.
Of course he did.
What did you guys think of the items from Needle?
Super
I
cool.
think the teddy bear was kind of a. I'm still not. I'm probably never going to figure it out. But the teddy bear is probably the least dangerous as yet because we don't know what the ring of Invisi will do. But I quite like the sheath thing where it's sort of great reward, but it kind of gives you a bit of pain to remind you that it's there.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite of the 3 that I know about as well.
I like that.
There was a 4th item that we were going to add in there, but I thought it would, as soon as you used it, I think it would have caused like too much of a sidetrack.
The ring of TPK.
You are all dead. Yeah. Do you think Loris is going to tell anyone that he got himself an extra little bit of cash in the night?
Probably. I don't think he's probably too embarrassed that he's scared. So it's still kind of playing on his mind that this, not so much money, like a little chest of money, that's strange. But the fact that the kid's voice and the teddy bear, it's just a bit freaking him out a little. So he probably won't mention it.
Yeah, cool.
Unless someone asks where the teddy bear is, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I kind of left it behind somewhere."
You guys were so lucky that you were in separate rooms at an inn. Because with what you rolled, if you were just at a camp, you all would have woken up and you all would have had a short rest instead of a long rest.
Oh, that would have annoyed somebody.
Yeah.
The spellcasters would be like, "Oh, okay, I'm useless now." That's cool.
Yeah.
So that was
Suddenly the ice knife power.
That was amazing.
dude, that ice knife was so good.
Yeah.
They're finally all standing next to each other.
I didn't even
say,
think of
that's
that
the
when I
best
put
you've
them all
thrown.
together. I just didn't even think about it. I thought, maybe American will use Entangle, maybe, or Spike Growth, or something. I didn't picture like Ice Knife doing so well. That's awesome. Really, really.
That's
cool.
got to be your best ice knife throws ever.
Yeah, especially one of them pretty much got everybody.
Yeah, like 6.
Yeah.
I don't think you've thrown them that well. That was brilliant.
I did make sure I put in a group of things that Bill couldn't send to sleep.
Oh.
Can't
I'm
put
like,
skeletons.
I've got a new poison power. Oh.
Trust me, that will
Maybe
come
next
in
time.
that will definitely come in handy in the future for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You
Can we just address the fact that my baby ate my other baby?
I didn't know how you were going to take that.
I was just like, oh,
Should that be a conversation held in private?
like easy come, easy go.
The rest of us don't need to see this.
I mean, there's no. There was 2 things I was thinking is that you just they were just going to continue growing slowly, and we end this campaign without you ever having a cool spider, or we give you one cool spider to see out the campaign.
Yeah.
You know,
It's better to have like one spider that can actually do something rather than 2 things that you're too scared to use because they're so weak.
yeah.
But you also don't want to have 2. Like if you let me have 2 decent ones, it would be so overpowered.
Yeah.
So I get why you did that.
Yeah. And I've done some thinking, and I don't think there's going to be a satisfying way to let you guys see level 5 before the end of the campaign. I don't think.
For forever.
Just because I think realistically, if I was gonna make you guys level 5, it would have to be before you get to the Wave Echo Cave. And I just don't think you guys have spent enough time at level 4. You spent like 3
I
sessions,
agree.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing I want level 5 for is because it gives me a double attack.
Well, it gives everyone some cool shit, and that's and it's that would be great, but it would
You don't need to rebalance
it would
That's good,
100% feel forced. I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is a bit of a bummer though. It's a bummer for me as well. I wanted to see what everyone had done. If there's a
Surprisingly, next week the party does a U-turn and goes somewhere else.
Let's go kill that dragon, then we'll be level 5.
you guys just totally left Radoth with his dragon. Poor Radoth.
He's fine.
Oh, Randolph turned into a squirrel or whatever.
He ran
He's
away.
fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. He said he'd come back when it was quiet.
If you kill Radoth, I swear to God.
if there is ever a comfortable way in the next few weeks for me to make you guys level 5 and for me to make it think it makes sense, then we can do that. But otherwise, tough luck. Yeah.
For forever.
For forever.
Yeah.
I do miss Radoth. He was great. Right off. Man,
He reminds me of Radagast from
Yeah, totally.
Fellowship.
I don't know who
Or
Radagast
Hobbit.
is.
We talk more of him. It's like Gandalf's bro.
Ah,
The other
The brown
wizard.
wizard.
He's the
Oh,
name.
yeah.
the brown wizard. Is that actually his
It
actual?
literally is called the brown wizard. Yeah. The brown wizard, the two blue wizards.
I imagine the brown
White
wizard,
wizard.
being someone's like nickname in high school because they shit their pants.
For real.
Sparks came
Well,
out.
there's Gandalf the Grey and
Yeah.
Gandalf the White and Radagast the Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
It
Yeah.
was Saruman, and then he died, so
Ah.
Gandalf became the white. And there's two blue ones. Yeah, look them
Blue
up.
wizards.
Two blue wizards, and they hang out together.
So an Amber Wizard.
Oh, cute.
Very
That's
similar.
cute. Oh, blue wizards on an
I want to be a
adventure.
blue wizard.
Paper.
I do want to know random origins. Like, how did you feel your character was portrayed? Was that okay? I think originally he wanted it to have like a Puss in Boots style voice, and I was just like,
Antonio.
yeah, and I'm like, I can't do that voice. I can't.
Oh, yes, you could. Don't even. You definitely could.
I don't know. I like the voice I ended up giving him. I don't know if that. I don't know where that came from actually. It reminded me of something when I did it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty bad. It's almost Tommy Wiseau style, a little bit, just a little bit.
You see that Tommy was so character.
I did not. Yeah, that'd be great.
Don, you're tearing me apart, Don.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I kind of thought the Tabaxi might be a little Khajiit from Elder Scrolls. I was fully ready for the
Yeah.
for the moon sugar and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, he was cool. I really like playing that character. Actually, I'm gonna have to find ways to make sure he keeps coming back.
I was incredibly suspicious.
Mm.
I didn't know what he was going to do, but he's holding up a little bag.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was from fucking Thundercats or something.
We should have given him.
Trust this guy.
Should have given him the face of one of the people from the Cats movie.
Yes.
Have you guys seen the Ron Swanson as all of the cats?
Oh no, not as all of the cats. I've seen him as like the Full House crew, which is amazing.
No, so there's a video going around of him, and you know the new Cats movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
Oh,
superimpose
yes.
his face onto every cat.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Hey.
no.
It's so good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that in the moment I get
I
off
am
this.
obsessed with that trailer.
Mm.
It is the most disturbing thing I've seen all year, and I can't get it out of my head.
I'll find it.
Yeah, chuck it
gotta
up.
see
Chuck it
it.
up in the Discord so we can check
Oh
it
my
out.
god, the Cats trailer.
So what is
Haunts me.
something else I think we really need to start discussing is what, and this is probably something we do in Discord away from being live, is what's happening at the end of this campaign? What's happening after this campaign? Because we're close. We're maybe, I think, 4 or 5 weeks away from finishing it. Maybe sooner. Maybe sooner than that. Maybe like 3 weeks away.
I doubt it. You know how slowly we move? It took us like an hour and a half to get to Phandelver today.
I'm just picturing what I know. I could
Oh, so the mine is more of just a hole, a little hole.
it's just a well. It's just a small
Made
well.
by children.
And Nesna's just at the bottom of the well waving up at you guys.
You
Just
found
drop
me!
it a rock.
Hey, I'm here.
You found me! I surrender!
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah.
It's
So
all yes.
I guess my question to you guys is, there is a chance that we finish this when Dave's away, which kind of sucks. There is that chance. Do we pad out the next 2 weeks with a side quest? Because I've got one ready to go, but it would very much be us padding it out.
Is it just hundreds of skeletons?
It's just one giant skeletal wall that you've got to spend 6 hours fighting.
That'd be so much fun.
So,
I just don't think we're in danger of finishing it as fast as you think.
Yeah,
You've got 2 weeks before I go, and so I've got 2 sessions before I go. So my last session is the
I
day
don't think we could
before.
finish it in
before
2.
I- So if you can't do it in 2, I'm happy if you finish it while I'm away. It's
Oh,
just you're
that
going to
would
have to
suck.
figure out how to work out Loris.
I think we would cut things down the middle.
It's run up and cut things, and then run up and cut things. We could, I could get,
Literally,
we could,
what Loris
we could
does.
possibly get like a guest person to come in and play as Loris,
Oh, that'd be fun.
have their take on Loris. Maybe I could talk to someone.
They have to say, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah, we'll have to lay that
I'm
down
not
at
enjoying
first.
killing it. Lots of this
That's still,
is
that's still
We'll
my
Give them the
favorite.
character brief of a gentle giant
Yeah.
and see where they go with it.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the podcast is just hearing, without any context, every now and then, just that enjoyment, like I get to kill. Yeah. So yeah, Dave. I guess the question is, if are you happy with us giving your character to someone else to play for a couple of weeks while you're gone?
Yeah, as long as they're gentle. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
If it needs to be finished, then yeah, all good.
I don't know if that's what I'm still trying to figure it out.
How
well, we've still got 2 more weeks to figure it out, so
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But
see what happens in the next 2 weeks.
But I still need to approach someone early to make sure they are willing to do it. I've got someone I reckon would be happy to give it a go.
Sildar.
Sildar will roll as Loris.
Yeah.
And Loris, you
Duran.
enjoyed what Dildar got up to tonight?
Yeah, I thought Dildar was awesome.
Yeah, it was nice to finally give him a chance to actually be as strong as he is.
Yeah, I guess I had always pictured him as being some doddery old man, and maybe part of me had forgotten that he was injured or not taken into the fact that he was injured. I knew he'd been hurt first time, but I just kind of figured that he'd been doddery and old.
Yeah, I mean, so just as a reminder, like he's part of the Lord's Alliance alongside Gundren and Iano, Glassstaff. So, like, Iano was not weak.
Bad guy, dead guy.
But I mean, like, I'm saying, like, Iano wasn't
Yeah.
a weak character, and you can probably assume Gundren took a bit of a beating before being in the position he was in.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Sildar's another good old boy, that's for sure.
So I think that was definitely a misread from my point of view, just because he was a weak old dude who fell off or got thrown off a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, you did ignore that he was weakened because he fell off the cliff. But
And the weeks of torture.
I just figured
Yeah.
that a goblin picking a dude up and throwing him off a cliff was like, well, he's clearly not that much of a
yeah.
serious levels of judgment being made by myself.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Cool. Are you guys keen to uncover the cave next week?
Oh, let's do
hell
it.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm
awesome.
excited for it. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be very, very cool. I wonder if Billy is somewhere in the cave.
He's pretty close.
It
I reckon the
is.
cave will look like Billy's mouth, just open. And we'll have to go in.
I mean, that's canon now. That is clearly canon.
yeah.
The Wave Echo Cave was Billy all along.
Yeah, that's his final form.
Body in the cave.
Yeah.
It's like in Star Wars when they go in, they land the Millennium
Exactly.
Falcon on the asteroid, but it turns out to be a giant worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The giant
Mega
goblin.
Billy.
Giant belly.
If we don't get like subscriber donations, I'm just gonna make that happen.
Oh, yeah? Sweet.
Yeah,
No.
it has to be the truth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think, do I wrap up Billy's story if Billy appears as well?
Stay tuned next week.
Oh, so much cool shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want to finish off. I don't want to get to the end of this and have Billy be like a persistent piece of shit for the next 6 campaigns that we play through. You know, I want to annoy whoever with something else next time. But I think we need to have Billy's arc come to an end. So even if we don't get enough cheers or things to get Billy, you'll probably see Billy at some point. I'd say that's pretty safe. Pretty safe to say.
But don't forget to cheer for him to turn up anyway, everyone. Because,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
because you can still make him. You can still make him turn up before I have planned what I've got planned. So, yeah. And what about that glass staff? where's he at the moment?
Yeah. Well, is the Baron actually glass staff? Seeing he has the glass staff. I mean,
It's like the Dread Pirate Roberts or something.
Yes.
He is not Glassstaff anymore. He's just Iano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Ian.
Baron is glass staff because he has the staff.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely doesn't. If you guys found him again, he's definitely not going to have the abilities that staff currently gives the Baron. That's for sure. Have you? Isn't there like something else that the staff can do? Like, I'm trying to remember.
There's 2 magic spells as far as I know.
Yeah, and you've used like
AC +2.
You've used Mage Armor a couple of times.
And shield.
And Shield. I don't remember using Shield.
I haven't had the chance to use it really.
Right. What does that do?
Gives you another +5 AC.
Damn,
That's heaps.
That's awesome. That's really
I would
good.
be 20.
Okay. That's
You remember when Billy killed me?
yeah.
Rolled a 20.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. There was no chances for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys holding on to any secret spells or techniques that you're still waiting to unveil?
Well, I've been hoarding an invisibility potion for some time now, and I'm like, should use that.
And you've got a ring of invisi.
Who knows what that'll do?
Which we
I
have no
reckon if
idea.
it's to the character, then I reckon it should give him a wedgie if he rolls bad.
I reckon just their top half will be invisible.
Yeah.
So you see these like little legs zooming around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was wondering the other day, what happens if you drink half an invisibility potion?
I believe it
Go
just.
invisible for
semi-opaque.
half the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Or maybe
or does it affect your extremities first?
I figured it
We
was.
just
you can
don't
only see your guts.
Yeah. Or are your guts
That's your-
invisible, but your skin isn't? So like you've just made your internals
Or-
invisible.
But
Or
how
what
could
if
you
it
tell?
just makes
That's
you
the whole
invisible?
point, right? So it's your skin isn't invisible until you've drunken the whole lot. But if you actually were to cut yourself and open up, it'd be invisible on the inside. That's what I reckon. That's what I reckon.
Or I suspect the ring of Invisi will just make me like really busy, like glowing. Super,
You
like
just have to
fairy
try.
fire. The spell fairy fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get advantage to hit you. It would
Yeah.
suck.
I forgot about Fairy Fire. That's a cool spell. It's very cool.
Mm.
All right.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later, Reese. Thanks for the game, my man.
Ciao, ciao.
Cool. All right. Is that us? I'm probably going to go to bed now.
Must be. Yeah, it's time to sleep.
All right.
Tired.
Thanks again to everybody for watching. We'll see you next Monday, same time, and we'll be venturing into the Wave Echo Cave, I think, next week. So, well,
This is the Wave Echo Cave
unless
dance.
three skeletons kills the rest of them.
Not going to happen. They're going
Could
down
happen.
in one smash.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.